So guys, in this class we'll be starting off with case scenarios. This includes ICI has released a set of case scenarios recently as such, because the case scenarios were released recently. They include all the case scenarios included till date in all the RTPs, all the mock test papers, all the examinations. There's nothing else left out. So all of this as such is an exact copy of all the case scenarios that were released by ICI. This covers an extensive list. Most of them, guys, are based on the questions that we've already solved in the class. एक दो जगह numbers change करें, and there are 2-3 questions that are new that we will have to solve. We will be solving all the questions as such, guys, or to say we will be discussing most of the questions as such, guys, and writing answers quickly. The answers to all of these case scenarios is also included in that PDF document towards the end. Apart from that, there are a few theory MCQs also that are included in this material. These are the ones that have been included in the BOS portal of ICAI. Practice MCQs बोल के है. I wanted to cover everything that is included, guys, anywhere. So let us start, guys, straight away. The first case scenario, guys. X and Y are two friends. Since Y has earned a lot of profit from trading in financial derivative market, X is also considering speculating on Gamma Corporation shares, which is currently trading at 700 rupees per share, through taking positions in options and stocks of the same company. Accordingly, X took the contract positions in the options on Gamma Corporation stock. He purchased one contract of 2 months call option with a premium of 35 and an exercise price of 750. This video is going on YouTube. It would be not nice if I take out names of you staring at someone else and the whole world finding out who's your secret crush. So, purchasing 1 month. Don't worry, Man and Saurav, I will not be taking your names. So, there's a 2 month call option, guys, with a premium of 35 and an exercise price of 750. There's a 2 months put option with a premium of 25 and an exercise price of 600. If you recall, guys, we did this in options. The strategy name is, we do not have the names of the strategies in the syllabus. You do not have to worry about the names of the strategies, guys, but what is it called? Or when do we enter into a call option as well as a put option? No, guys, this is nowhere arbitrage, beta. You're taking a buy position. Strangle strategy. Excellent, guys. Whenever you're expecting a heavy volatility in the underlying stock, but then you're not sure about the direction in which the stock price is going to move as such, guys, you will prefer buying both call option as well as put option. Are we very clear about this? So here, guys, call option has a strike price of 750 rupees, put option has a strike price of 600. The total premium that we are paying, guys, collectively is how much? 60 rupees. 35 plus 25. When will call option be exercised? When price is above 750. When will put option be exercised? When the price is below 600. What will be your break-even price? Upper end price as such beta will be 750 plus 60, 810. Lower end break-even price 600 minus 60, 540 rupees. Now, it says assuming that the contract, notes में बेटा summary लिखते जाएंगे. Notebooks है ना तुम्हारे पास? We'll just write those given details so that it's easier. Notebooks भी नहीं लेके आए? Guys, are you kidding me? We will keep writing that summary in the notebook, guys. If it is not notebook, write it in some material as such better. हाँ? क्या क्या क्या? कितने? हाँ? अभी नहीं है बेटा, मैं जाके टाइम वेस्ट नहीं कर रहा हूँ सब. Alright, guys, what's the total premium paid, beta? Total premium, guys, is 35 plus 25, guys, 60 rupees. Call option strike price is how much? 750. Put option strike price, beta, is 600. Break even prices कितने रहेंगे, guys? 2 break even prices. It will either be 750 plus 60, 810, or it will be 600 minus 60, beta, 540. There'll be 2 break-even prices. Total premium beta per share is 35 plus 25, 60 rupees. Call option ka strike price is 750. Put option ka strike price is 600. Your break-even prices are 750 plus 60, guys. 810, 600 minus 6, 540. Are we clear about this? Kaushik. like assuming that the contract size of each option is 100 guys and the price of, ये देखो बेटा last sentence, ये एक sentence भी important है बेटा. It says trading in option market and understanding the nitty-gritties of same. X being CEO in an organization advised his team to implement the concept of financial options and capital budgeting decisions called real option. Namesake, they've included a sentence on real option so that we will, there is an MCQ based on that. Do you remember real options? Long call, abandonment option, याद है नहीं है बेटा. Normal है option valuation, nothing different as such guys, but then they relate to your business decisions, capital investments. Those are your real options. Now first bit guys says that the price after 2 months will be 550. If the price after 2 months is 550, which option will you exercise? Put option will be exercised. When you exercise put option as such beta, you will get how much benefit on expiry? 50 rupees. But let us talk about per share, 50 rupees. But what is the premium that you paid? 60 rupees. What is your net loss? 10 rupees. Total loss? 1000. 10 rupees into 100 shares. Are we clear guys? So in your notes beta you can write price on expiry कितना है? 550 है. Call option how much will you get? 0. Put option how much will you get? 50. Premium paid is how much? 60. Your net loss beta would be 10 rupees per share. Total loss beta will be 1000. Price on expiry is 550 rupees. On call option you will get nothing. On put option you're going to get a benefit of 50 rupees. The premium that you've already paid beta is 60 rupees. So your net loss is 10 rupees. Total loss 1000. Second bit guys. The price per share of Gamma Corporation stock after 2 months at which X shall break even. There are two prices, but based on the options given, you will have to identify guys. कौन सा option रहेगा यहाँ पे? 540 rupees. This will be the break even price. Online students, I'm so sorry I forgot to share the material in the group, but I'm doing it right away. You should ask guys, I do not know, how are you? Now guys, which of the following statements is false regarding real options? Which of them is false? First one, real option methodology is an approach to capital budgeting that relies on option pricing theory to evaluate projects. Is that true? Real option methodology is an approach to capital budgeting that relies on option pricing theory. Undoubtedly yes beta. The whole objective of real option is to see what is the benefit that you get because you have an option. The option might be to invest on a later date. The option might be to sell on a later date. It can be long call, it can be long put. अपने लिए दोनों important है, याद है नहीं है? Next, real option is intended to supplement and not replace capital budgeting analysis. Undoubtedly yes. Even if you are implementing real option, you will still compute NPVs as such guys. It is not that you will not compute NPVs. Real options are different from financial options as their periods start from the end of first year. Undoubtedly yes. Cash flows as such beta arise after a year, or the option to invest or option to delay beta arises after 1 year. Do you remember that? Most of the questions time period was not given and we wrote beta assume that the time gap is 1 year. All of them start after 1 year. Real options are normally traded in the market and are priced. Are they exchange traded? No. Answer beta is D. Second question guys is based on convertible securities. Quick recap guys. What do you understand by stock value of a convertible bond? Yeah, the market value of the corresponding equity shares guys is called as stock value or conversion value. How do you compute conversion premium? Instead of buying a straight bond, if you are buying a convertible bond, what is the premium that you are paying as such guys is called as conversion premium. Straight bond matlab kya? Without the conversion option. Floor value of a bond as such guys. What is downside risk? Conversion premium percentage में compute करने के लिए क्या करना है? Will you divide guys? Conversion premium is nothing but the difference between conversion value and stock value of a bond guys. Conversion value and straight value of a bond. In order to compute that in percentage, will you divide that by conversion value or straight value of a bond? Excellent. You are paying premium over straight value. That is why you will divide it by straight value. How do you compute downside risk? Market price of a convertible bond minus straight value of a bond is the total downside risk. मगर अगर basically guys अगर equity share का वैल्यू डिमिनिश भी हो जाता है, व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम डिक्लाइन दैट इज पॉसिबल इन द वैल्यू ऑफ अ कन्वर्टेबल बॉन्ड? द मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ अ कन्वर्टेबल बॉन्ड विल कम डाउन टू स्ट्रेट वैल्यू ऑफ अ बॉन्ड. हाउ डू यू कंप्यूट दैट इन परसेंटेज? लॉजिकल आंसर, कन्वर्जन वैल्यू नहीं है बेटा अभी, स्ट्रेट. हाँ, the logical answer as such beta is to divide it by market price of convertible bond, but I told you guys ICI follows dividing it by straight value of a bond. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? The logical answer as such guys will always be to divide it by market price of convertible bond, but then ICI divides it by straight value of a bond. Why am I discussing all of that? यहाँ पे requirement में they make it very clear guys किससे divide करना है बोल के. याद आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है कुछ? Now guys, it says face value of a bond is 450 rupees, coupon rate is 15% as such guys. So what will be your annual coupon? 450 multiplied by 15%. 67.5. Number of shares per bond is 25. Market price per share beta is 20 rupees. So what do you think beta will be the conversion value? Conversion value beta is 500. What is straight value of the bond? 400. Market price of convertible bond beta is 550. All the details are given guys, simple MCQ है. First bit, stock value of a bond guys is how much? Obviously stock value मतलब conversion value. Conversion value beta is straightforward answer 500 rupees. Yes or no guys? Second bit बहुत important है. Percentage of downside risk based on, that means do not divide by straight value of a bond, divided by market price. Please mark that as important guys in the sentence and write वहां पे क्या लिखोगे? Do not divide by straight value, divide by market price. I repeat, underline that word market price guys and write do not divide by straight value, divide by market price. So how much will be the answer guys here? Downside risk in rupees कितना है? 550 minus 400, 150. बेटा कन्वर्जन प्रीमियम नहीं पूछा मैं, डाउनसाइड रिस्क पूछा गया. कन्वर्जन प्रीमियम इज 100 रुपीज, डाउनसाइड रिस्क बेटा इज 150 रुपीज. दिस 150 रुपीज नॉर्मली आई वुड हैव डिवाइडेड इट बाय 400, बट यहां पे किससे डिवाइड करोगे? 550. We will see beta there's another MCQ later. In that we are going to divide by 400 because nothing is specified in the question. यहाँ पे it is clearly specified that you're supposed to do it on the basis of market price. So this will become how much beta? 27.27%. Conversion premium guys. Conversion premium in rupees कितना रहेगा? In rupees guys it is going to be 500 minus 400, 100 rupees. Straight value of a bond as such beta is 400 rupees. The conversion value as such guys is 500 rupees. Conversion value उतना ही है ना? So what will be the amount of the premium guys? 100 upon 400. कितना percentage आ रहा है? 25%. Please change the option guys. Option A को 25% करो. हाँ हाँ. Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys. Yeah. What is the market price of the convertible bond guys? Instead of paying 500 rupees as such guys, how much are we paying today? 550 rupees. So 550 minus 500 as such guys is 50 rupees. This 50 divided by 500. That will be 10%. थोड़ी देर पहले बेटा मैं conversion premium क्या बोला था? I said you're supposed to compare it with straight value of a bond. Conversion premium guys, you will compare market price of a convertible bond with the conversion value. Instead of buying equity shares, you are buying a convertible bond. What is the excess amount that you are paying in respect of that as such beta will become your conversion premium. Are we clear? Conversion parity price guys, what will you do? The price at which you are indifferent. In order to arrive at your indifferent price guys, you will divide market price of the convertible bond by the conversion ratio. What is the market price of the convertible bond? 550 rupees. This you will have to divide by your conversion ratio guys, which is 20. How much will be the price? 20. Conversion value ratio 25 है, market price. अच्छा. 550 divided by 25 guys. How much will be the answer? 22 rupees. You will have to divide market price of a convertible bond beta by the conversion ratio. That conversion ratio as such guys is 25. The indifferent price is 22. Right now, what is the market price? 20 rupees. At 22 rupees, you will become indifferent. Stop dreaming, guys. Question 3 बेटा. तुम्हारी बेंच नहीं बेटा, पीछे वाली बेंच में एक लड़की भुवन पीछे. Mr. A is interested in investing rupees 1 lakh, for which is considering following 3 alternatives. We did a similar question in the class already, guys. Invest rupees 1 lakh in mutual fund X, invest 1 lakh in mutual fund Y, invest 60,000 in X and 40,000 in Y. Average annual return of X and Y is given. Risk-free rate of return is 8%. Market rate of return beta is 10%. Covariance of returns of X and Y and market portfolio mix are given. Based on the above information, answer the following questions. So ये table में बेटा X to X का जो relation है वो क्या हो जाएगा? Will that be covariance or will that be variance? Covariance matrix में बेटा X to X relation मतलब variance of X. Y to Y relation beta will become variance of Y. This is variance of market. X to Y, guys, or Y to X is covariance between X and Y. Are we clear? How do you compute portfolio variance using covariance? There were 2 models that we did, guys. One is modern portfolio theory, one is Sharpe's index model. As per modern portfolio theory, how do you arrive at variance of a portfolio? Excellent. Weight of A into standard deviation of A whole square plus weight of B into standard deviation of B whole square plus 2 weight A weight B into covariance between A and B. बस. So we have to compute standard deviation of X. Compute करने की जरूरत नहीं है बेटा. Root over 4.4 will become the answer. Yes or no? Option B. Very good. एक बार बेटा वो notes में क्या लिखोगे guys? Summary of this answer first. So there is X, there is Y. X का return कितना है बेटा? 12%. Y का return 11%. What are the weights, guys, of investments? 0.6 and 0.4. Variance of X कितना है? 4.4. Variance of Y 4.2. Covariance between X and Y 4.3. So standard deviation of X beta, first bit का answer is straightforward, root over 4.4. Root over 4.4 is how much? 0976. दान तरवाता. Portfolio return, guys. For portfolio return, guys, should you take the benefit of diversification? Everything beta is simple weighted average except risk. Risk is the only one beta wherein we have to incorporate the benefit of diversification. बाकी हर जगह portfolio chapter में बेटा whenever we have to compute anything in relation to portfolio we simply take weighted averages. याद आ रहा है ना? portfolio beta रहने दो बेटा, portfolio return रहने दो, simply weighted average. Even portfolio duration and bond valuation, guys, is weighted average duration of multiple bonds. So portfolio return beta will be 0.6 into 12% plus 0.4 into 11%. How much will that be, guys? 11.6%. Portfolio कुछ भी नहीं देता बेटा ऐसे क्वेश्चन में. You will have to arrive at portfolio variance using modern portfolio theory. What is more appropriate, modern portfolio theory or Sharpe's index model? Modern portfolio theory, because we mathematically proved it also. If you remember, guys, वो overall column लेके आंसर लाए थे. Modern portfolio theory के हिसाब से you will write weight A standard deviation of A whole square, weight B standard deviation of B whole square, 2 weight A weight B into covariance between A and B. So that'll be 0.6 square into 4.4. 4.4 already square है बेटा, उसको square मत करना. 0.4 square into 4.2. 2.6.4 into covariance बेटा is 4.3. 2 point standard deviation बोल रहा तू डायरेक्टली. एक बार वेरिएंस बोलना यार, क्या बिगाड़ा तेरा? तू फटाफट आंसर करेगा तो हाँ नहीं बोलेगी वो. 4 point एग्जैक्ट या कुछ है आगे? 4.32. This is your portfolio variance. So what will be the answer to the first bit, guys? 2.0976. Answer to the second bit, 11.6%. Third bit, guys, is tricky. One second. Is everyone done with this? Guys, आज एक दिन बेटा अगर calculation नहीं भी कर पाए, someone is doing calculation for one question, someone else is doing calculation for one question, fine. Objective is to cover all the case scenarios. And they're exactly same as what we did in the class, guys. All of this we have already done in the class, same questions. A few people, we have no idea. Huh? So guys, third bit एक बार पढ़ो guys. If you're all done with the first two bits, what is the requirement in the third bit? Based on standard deviation, the optimum investment. Answer में बेटा, it is not based on mere standard deviation. It is based on both standard deviation and return. That is coefficient of variation. Even in the explanation given by ICI, guys, they did not give detailed explanations. They just wrote one line answers for every MCQ. They've clearly written based on coefficient of variation. This is the answer. So now we will have to compute. वो underline करो based on standard deviation and write though standard deviation is specified, answer should be based on. मैं शायद वहाँ पे नीचे sentence भी दिया ना है. ठीक है. Though standard deviation is specified, answer should be based on coefficient of variation. वो standard deviation underline कर लो बस. The standard deviation is specified, answer should be based on coefficient of variation. So now guys, there are three things that you will have to consider: X, Y and portfolio. What's the standard return, guys? पहले standard deviation बोलो. What's the standard deviation of X? 2.0976. What's the standard deviation of Y, guys? 4.2 का root 0736. Last वाले का बेटा 2.0784. Returns कितने हैं बेटा? X का कितना है? 12%. Y 11. This is 11 point. Can you compute coefficient of variation? How do you compute coefficient of variation? Standard deviation by return. So standard deviation by return beta would be 0.4. मारो पकड़ गया उसको. 4.2 का रूट रे. Wunsch control. Yes guys, what will be your coefficient of variation? कांदा दे रहा उसको. हाँ हाँ है ना बेटा. और क्या चाहिए? नहीं है. उठ के आ रहा. फर्स्ट वाला इज 0.1748. ऐसे रहते ये तुम्हारे फॉर्म वाले. नेक्स्ट वाला बेटा 0.1868. नेक्स्ट ये ले आत्मा शांत. 1791. सो किस में इन्वेस्ट करोगे बेटा? Whom should you select? X. The one with the lowest coefficient of variation as such, guys, should be selected. Are we clear, beta? Next, guys, fourth one. Question number 4, guys. Easy gunda da. Mergers and acquisitions. Guys, masti nahi beta. Question number 4, guys. P Limited is studying the possible acquisition of Q Limited by way of merger. The following data are available. They've given us after-tax earnings, number of equity shares, market price per share, book value per share. The merger shall be gone through by exchange of equity shares and the exchange ratio is set according to different weights. Exchange ratio compute करने के लिए बेटा what do we write? Per share value of target company divided by per share value, guys, of the acquiring company. You always write the selling company in the numerator, purchasing company in the denominator. So there are three things beta here. EPS कितना रहेगा, guys? How will you get EPS? After tax earnings divided by number of shares. So this will be 5 rupees and this will be 6 rupees. EPS of the first one beta is 5 rupees. EPS of the second one is 6 rupees. So what do you think will be the ratio here beta EPS के basis पे? 6:5, which is 1.2:1. Market price के basis पे what will be the ratio, guys? 60 rupees is to 75 rupees. 0.8:1. Next beta will be 105 is to 210. 0.5 is to 1. Remember, when you have to do weighted averages, will you multiply weights to the denominator also or only to the numerator? Only to the numerator. 50% of 1.2 by 1 beta is 50% of 1.2 only. Please do not again take 50% of 1. The very first question in class you made a mistake. You were multiplying weights to the denominators also. So the answer beta is simple. 50% of 1.2 plus 25% of 0.8 plus 25% of 0.5. 0.925 is to 1. This will be the exchange ratio. Answer is option B. Exchange ratio beta will be 0.925 is to 1. Understood, guys? Based on this, how many equity shares will be issued, guys? What is the total number of equity shares outstanding in the other company? 50,000. Exchange ratio is 0.925. So you will issue 50,000 multiplied by 0.925. How many shares? 46,250. What will be the post-merger EPS, guys, of P Limited? Post-merger EPS of P Limited. You will simply add both the earnings and divide by the revised number of shares. Earnings दोनों ऐड करेंगे मतलब कितना हो जाएगा? 10 lakhs plus 3 lakhs, 13 lakhs. How many shares did we already have? 2 lakh shares. We issued them 46,250 shares. So 13 lakhs divided by 2 lakhs, 46,250. 5.2928. In case, अरे बस कर रहे थे ABCD तब से ऐसे 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 कर रहा, मार खाएगा. In case you do not want the EPS to diminish better, then exchange ratio should always be based on EPS. If you do not want the earnings to diminish and there are no synergy gains in terms of earnings, exchange ratio should always be based on EPS. So what do you think will be the exchange ratio? 1.2 is to 1. Should be based on EPS. అన్ని ఆన్సర్స్ కూడా అక్కడే రాసుకుంటున్నావా? తర్వాత రివిజన్ ఎట్లా చేస్తావు? Few you will revise. It should be based on EPS. यहाँ पे आजा वंश फर्स्ट बेंच में. दस मार्क के आ रहे बेटा, 2 10 मार्क के आएंगे और बाकी फिर इंडिविजुअल MCQs 2 markers. This is how questions will be given. 2 बड़े केस सिनारियो. लास्ट टाइम तीनों बड़े आए, बट CA इंटर में he is not following that approach. Most likely it should be that way only. मतलब 2 बड़े एंड बाकी के individuals. क्या CA इंटर में? That is the correct way. Earlier how they used to give better. अभी पूरा ऐसा कर दिए. Next guys, mutual funds पे answer guys. They've given us amount of investment, NAV at the time of purchase, dividend received, NAV, effective yield as such guys. We did the exact same question. शायद थोड़ा बहुत amount of investment ऊपर नीचे है guys. This question relates to computation of reverse calculation guys. Number of days for which you have invested based on the return that is already given. Will you be able to solve this? Answers are given पीछे guys. जो exact same है और बहुत basic है बेटा, I'm not going to discuss them. It's very simple. Answers are given behind बेटा. Behind मतलब वो जो theory MCQ से पहले एक sheet में पूरे answers है. Page number क्या है? 24. हाँ? All the answers guys are given on that page. You can refer to them. So can we skip this question guys? Yes or no? Next guys. वापस convertible security पे बेटा, we will just do it once because यहाँ पे downside risk is not based on market price. Downside risk is based on straight value of a bond guys. So here it says बेटा face value is 250 rupees, coupon rate is 12%. So what will be your annual premium? 30 rupees. Number of shares per bond is 20. Market price per share is 12 rupees. What will be conversion value? Conversion value beta will be 240 rupees. Straight value is 235. Market price of convertible bond is 265. Maturity is 5 years. First bit, downside risk in percentage. In rupees, enta untadi guys? How do you compute downside risk? You compare the market price of a convertible bond with what? Straight value of a bond. So that will be 30 rupees. In percentage, by default, you divide by 265 or 235? 235. By default, beta, we divide it by 235. Logical answer, no doubt about it, is 265. But apna, I told you guys that we follow this. So 30 divided by what, guys? 235. What will be the answer, guys? 12.77%, guys. After this, guys, conversion premium in percentage. Conversion premium kaise laoge, guys? What is the market price of the bond? 265, guys. After that, Asad beta, 265. You will compare with 240. Very good, guys. Previous question, I made a mistake. 265 minus 240, beta, 25 rupees. How will you write that answer in percentage, beta? Divided by 240. We are paying premium over 240 rupees. So the answer in percentage, beta, will be 25 divided by 240. 10.42%. Conversion parity price कैसे लेके आओगे? जो भी मार्केट प्राइस है आज का, that is 265 rupees. You will divide it by conversion ratio. So 265 divided by 20. 20 है conversion ratio. ये हर एक बिट में है. 13.25. Do not prefer writing all the answers in the material itself, guys. Later revision में problem होगा. And this will be a good revision, guys, even after you finish the entire syllabus, just to check whether you're able to recollect the concepts or not. Very good way of revising. So refrain from writing in the material. It's better that you write all of them in the notebook and give a reference के पूरा जो भी working है, it is on that page बोल के. हाँ बेटा, थोड़े बच्चों को वही मेरी शक्ल देख रही, तू काहे को ये सिंपल करा रहा बोल के. नहीं नहीं, उसका फंडा क्लियर है. बाकी के 30 होमवर्क दे दो सर, हम चले आते बोल के. Yes, guys. Last bit, guys. They're asking us to find out the price of a convertible bond. कैसे करोगे बेटा? If the yield is 15%. Frankly speaking, beta, they should have given us what is the expected price of equity share at the end of 5th year. Market price of a convertible bond is similar to the price of a bond, except redemption value में we take cash component or equity value, not today's equity value. Equity value at the end of 5th year, whichever is higher. But यहाँ पे we do not know that. So ignore conversion, arrive at value of a bond. क्या लिखोगे बेटा यहाँ पे? Ignore conversion. नोट्स में लिख सकते हो या कहीं पे भी. Ignore conversion. Why are we ignoring conversion? As expected. देवेश आया समझ में? Ignore conversion as expected market price at the end of 5th year is not given. Ignore conversion as expected market price at the end of 5th year is not given. Everyone got materials, right? है वहाँ पे है. Are we clear, guys? Now can you arrive at straight value of a bond, beta? I already wrote coupon amount. 30 rupees you have to discount at what rate? 15%. For how many years? 30 rupees you will discount at 15% for 5 years. దాని తర్వాత face value ఎంత? 250 rupees you will discount, guys, at 15% for the 5th year. Answer చేసేసినావా? Answer option B, guys. 224.85. Shall we start the next one, guys? Suppose you are a financial consultant and following 3 clients have approached to you seeking advice on the investment to be made in securities. All these clients have different background and risk appetite as well as perception of the market. Client A wants to invest in fixed income avenues and therefore is looking at the credit rating of the securities as well as financial ratios such as interest coverage, earning power, etc. Directly jump to the first MCQ, guys. The main factor to be considered in selecting fixed income avenue for client A shall be: is it yield to maturity, is it risk of default, is it tax shield, or is it liquidity? Excellent. Because वो क्या देख रहा है बेटा? He is looking at the credit rating and the repayment capability. Yes or no, guys? The fact that is looking at credit rating and the risk of basically beta repayment capability, he is only worried about default risk. Default risk का दूसरा नाम क्या है? Credit risk. याद है? The main factor that needs, client B का पढ़ो ऊपर. Client B wants to earn a fixed income over a period of time by holding the security till its maturity. ऊपर ही आंसर आ गया वो. Yes guys, yield to maturity. If client C wants to earn more by taking more risk, therefore is more interested to invest in stocks, he believes that price reflects all information found in the record of past prices and volumes. The one who are done with security analysis, guys, are you done? The 3 forms of market efficiency, guys: weak form efficiency, semi-strong form efficiency, and strong form efficiency. Weak form efficiency bolta hai beta that whatever are the prices prevailing in the market will only reflect past prices and volumes. Semi-strong form beta will include publicly available information also. Strong form efficiency would mean it includes private information as well, insider information also, guys. These are the 3 forms of efficiencies. यहाँ पे बेटा it says that it is only in the record of past prices and volumes. मतलब it is which form of efficiency? Weak form efficiency. This indicates बेटा that the market is showing a weak form efficiency. अब requirement में देखो, if weak form efficiency is prevailing as such, guys, then which approach is best for selection of equity shares? ऊपर क्या दिया हुआ है बेटा? He wants to earn more by taking more risk, therefore is more interested to invest in stocks. You will go by fundamental analysis as such, guys, because that is how you are going to generate higher returns over a longer period. Are we clear? If the company is going to perform well, you will generate a higher return. If the company is not going to perform well, private information, public information nahi hai. So if the company is showing better returns as such, guys, what will happen to the value? It is only going to increase. Are we clear? Next, guys, again based on mergers and acquisitions. AES wants to acquire DNF and has offered a swap ratio of 1:2. Exchange ratio is already given in the question. Profit after tax for both the companies are given. Equity shares outstanding is given. P ratio is given. Market price per share is given. We did the exact same question, guys, with the same numericals in the class, guys. Can I skip the question? Swap ratio कुछ भी नहीं है बेटा, वही computing EPS post merger, computing market price, assuming P ratio remains same. All right, P ratio किसका same रहेगा? Acquiring company और 35 case scenarios. Kovida 35. Yes guys, P ratio किसका रहेगा? Acquiring company या target company? Acquiring company. Very good guys. Now beta, during one business meeting at XYZ, even this we did, guys, this was in business valuation, EVA ke questions. Economic value added. What is economic value added, Yasha? It is the excess return that you are generating as such, guys, over and above the required rate of return. So to compute EVA, guys, we normally write EBIT into 1 minus tax rate. That is your operating income that you are generating minus KO into capital invested. Usually there are no adjustments, but I told you guys, थोड़े लिखाया था, if bad debt is, I told you beta, provision for bad debt should not be considered, only actual bad debt should be considered. Also depreciation as per books should not be considered, true economic depreciation. मैं बोला वो सब adjustments नहीं आएंगे, अपने लिए एक ही adjustment आएगा, that is provision for doubtful debts, और कुछ नहीं आएगा. Do you remember that, guys? Advertisement expenditure, guys, marketing, research and development. I said even if you write it off in your books, it is not supposed to be considered as expenditure. It should be considered as a part of capital employed. Yes, guys. Vidhi beta, online students that was. So during one business meeting at XYZ Limited, one of the members pointed out, guys, जल्दी हो जाएंगे, उतना ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा जितना तुम लोग सोच रहे हो. Even if there are 35 case scenarios as such, guys, they will not take so much time. ऐसे सोचो मत. ऐसे शक्लें बना के देख रहे मेरे को कि अभी नाइन्थ में आ गए बेटा अपन ऑलरेडी. डू यू रियलाइज इट्स बीन ओनली व्हाट 40 minutes. 5 minutes पर एमसीक्यू बेटा मैक्स बेटा 3 hours में खत्म. और बीच में 2-3 ऐसे वी नो करते ना अपन. हाँ. So one of the member while evaluating the performance by any one of the member pointed out that while evaluating the performance of any company, one should not only see its operating income but should also analyze its capital structure as one. Weighted average cost of capital changes on the basis of capital structure, keeping all other factors unchanged. He presented data relating to 3 companies, alpha, beta and gamma, to these 3 companies as well. So they've given us total invested capital, they've given us debt to asset ratio, shares outstanding, pre-tax cost of debt, cost of equity, operating income. Kuch yaad aaya? Did we do exact same question? Class mein beta, the name of the question was orange, apple, grapes, or a cake. There were 2 questions that we did on the exact same format, guys. I'll just show you calculation beta. Total invested capital kitna hai? 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs ko if you divide in the ratio of 0.8 and 0.2, you will get debt 16 lakhs, equity 4 lakhs. ठीक है? To get your weighted average cost of capital, ये pre-tax cost of debt है. Pre-tax cost of debt को how will you convert into post-tax cost of debt? Interest rate into 1 minus tax rate. What will be your first वाले का post-tax cost of debt? 16% into 1 minus tax rate. 10.4%. Can you compute overall cost of capital बेटा? Weights equity का 0.2 है, debt का 0.8 है. Equity का weight is 0.2. Punch. Equity का weight is 0.2 guys, debt का weight is 0.8. 13 point. ये हो गया weighted average cost of capital. How will you compute EVA after this? EBIT is 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs into 1 minus tax rate minus KO into capital invested. Gurtostunda? Yes or no, guys? How will you compute price per share, guys? From operating income, I should remove interest, then remove taxes. I will get net income. That net income I will divide by number of shares outstanding. I will get EPS. EPS multiplied by P ratio will give me market price of the share. Are you getting the point? I'm discussing the procedure just so that you recollect the concept that we did, guys. याद आया कुछ? नहीं, Pranav. So guys, the 3 companies that are here. What are the names of the 3 companies? Alpha, A, B, G. Your debt equity ratio, guys, here is 0.8 is to 0.2. Here it is 0.5 is to 0.5. Here it is 0.2 is to 0.8. What will be your debt amount beta here? 16 lakhs. Here it will be 10 lakhs. Here it will be 4 lakhs. Correct? What will be your post-tax cost of debt? It will be interest rate into 1 minus tax rate. Interest rate beta we know is 26%. Sorry, 16%. So 10.4%. Second वाले का बोलना 13% into 0.65. Last वाले का बेटा 15% into 0.65. Good to see you answering better. We already have cost of equity beta 26%, 22% guys and 20%. What will be your KO beta? KO is weight of equity into cost of equity plus weight of debt into cost of debt. First one 13.52. कोई third वाला करो, कोई second वाला करो. याद रखना बेटा denominator is weight of equity. 0.5 मतलब 30 मतलब 15.225 हो गया मेरा. हाँ 17 point चेक करो रही. हाँ प्रणव याद आया अभी. दिस इज केओ कंप्यूटेशन. ईवीए कैसे करेगा प्रणव? ईवीए इज ईबीआईटी इंटू 1 माइनस टैक्स रेट माइनस केओ इंटू कैपिटल इन्वेस्टेड. तीनों का ईबीआईटी सेम है बेटा. द ओनली थिंग दैट इज चेंजिंग इज केओ. Capital investment is same, EBIT is same. So this will be 5 lakhs into, without yawning, 5 lakhs into 1 minus tax rate. आते हैं कभी तो भी एक बार 54,600. Next 5 lakhs into 1 minus tax rate minus 15.225% of 20 lakhs. 20,500. 5 lakhs into 1 minus tax rate minus 17.95% of 20 lakhs minus 34,000. This will be the EVA, guys. We did same question in the class, guys. It just अब याद आया. Market price कैसे compute करोगे बेटा? Is from EBIT, that is 5 lakhs. What should you deduct? Interest. अब interest when you're deducting, please do not take post-tax cost of debt. Takes pre-tax cost of debt, beta. So this will be 16 lakhs multiplied by how much? 16%. How much will that be? 2 lakh 50. 10 lakhs into 13%. 1 lakh 30,000. Last wala beta. 4 lakhs ka 15%. This will give me EBT. From this EBT, guys, what should I deduct? Taxes. I will get net income or EAT. That net income I have to divide by number of equity shares and then multiply by a P ratio of 11 times. Sabka P ratio same hai. You will get market price per share. अभी clear? समझ में आ गया सबको? जिसको notes में लिखना है थोड़ा बहुत लिखो वरना you will be able to solve all of that, guys. But ensure that you solve all of these questions after you finish revision of all the topics. Only then it will make sense. And the ones who are writing in 2026, 27 and such, but I'll keep adding MCQs to the same material. There's another group that I will give details of, general group है, उसमें I'll keep sharing that data. जो भी दूसरे MCQs add हो रहे हैं. हो गया बेटा ये? बाकी का हाँ हाँ फाइनल आंसर చెప్తున్నా मैं. Yes, guys. Next question, better 10th one. Shall we start the 10th one? Do you remember fate of a forward contract? Fate of a forward contract, totally how many cases did we did, guys? 9 cases. Excellent. ये 9 है. Cricket खेलते, hand cricket. Oh my god, this is what my son is trying to teach me. बैठ के ये करो. Yes, guys. So, talking about fate of a forward contract, 9 cases, guys. Cancellation, extension, delivery, and under each of them 3 cases: before due date, on due date, after due date. If it is cancellation before due date, you just have to enter into opposite contract for the remaining period to maturity. What if it is extension before due date? First cancellation, then enter into a new contract. All right. What if it is delivery before due date? Not normal procedure, we have to remember. Okay. What if it is cancellation on due date? Opposite contract, but at the spot rate prevailing on expiry. Spot rate prevailing on expiry is nothing but the forward rate prevailing on expiry. What if it is extension on due date? Same as cancellation plus enter into a new contract. What if it is delivery on due date? जो भी original rate है उसके हिसाब से deliver करके काम खत्म करो. That is what your forward contract is supposed to be. Anything after due date, I said FedI regulations will apply, guys. Automatic cancellation happens within 3 days. Either on the day the customer approaches, guys, or within 3 days from the end forward contract due date is such, guys, whichever is earlier. Now, remember the contracted rate originally given in the question will be inclusive of margins, but when you're entering into a new contract, you should separately add margins. This is for the contract between banker and the customer. But if the banker is entering into a contract in the interbank market, there will not be any margins. If it is delivery before due date, I told you, beta, logically, what is the answer? You first cancel the existing contract and then deliver the dollars as such, guys, at the spot rate prevailing. But we do not do that. Instead, what do we do, guys? The banker will still be willing to give delivery at the originally contracted rate, but he will charge 2 things. One is swap loss, the other one is interest on outlay of funds, if any. स्वॉप लॉस अभी समझो बेटा, कस्टमर अभी यहाँ पे बेटा इज एन एक्सपोर्टर. If you are an exporter guys, will you enter into a forward sale contract or forward purchase contract? Customer beta will enter into a forward sale contract. We have done the exact same question with the same numericals in the class. Customer will enter into a forward sale contract. That means banker has entered into a forward purchase contract. To hedge himself guys, what will the banker do? Banker will enter into a forward sale contract. अब because you are approaching the banker before the due date, banker को अपना forward sale cancel करना पड़ेगा. So what will he enter into? Forward purchase. Excellent. We have to see beta what are the two new contracts that the banker is entering into. He will enter into a forward purchase for the remaining period to maturity. Plus, you are giving dollars to the banker immediately. What will the banker do with those dollars? Spot sale. इन दोनों का डिफरेंस को बेटा क्या बोलते हैं? स्वॉप लॉस. दिस इज व्हाट द बैंकर इज गोइंग टू रिकवर फ्रॉम यू. इंटरेस्ट ऑन आउटले ऑफ फंड्स किस पे आएगा? Consider the transactions beta underlying rupees. Amazing guys, you remember all of that. You have to only consider the transactions that involve exchange of rupees. Customer will give dollars to the banker at the originally contracted rate. Banker is going to sell them in the market guys. इन दोनों का difference will become the net outlay. If it is net inflow to the banker, you can ignore it. If it is net outlay, you will have to charge interest for the remaining period. That is still the due date of the forward contract. This is what is delivery before due date. याद आ गया? Interest beta that is to be charged by the banker cannot be less than their prime lending rate. ये एक bit याद रखना. Interest that is to be charged by the banker cannot be less than their prime lending rate. What is prime lending rate? PLR is the rate as such guys at which a banker offers loan to their best credit rated customer. जिसका भी क्रेडिट रेटिंग बहुत ज्यादा रहता है उसको जो भी रेट पे लोन दे रहा है, that is called as their prime lending rate. The rate at which bankers offer loans as such guys will all depend on the credit profile of a customer. Clear? So the bank may accept guys subject to what? Subject to swap difference, interest and outlay of funds as well as fixed charges. यहां पे क्वेश्चन में फिक्स चार्जेस है क्या? एक बार देखो. हाँ, नो, बट बैंकर इज ऑल्सो अलाउड टू चार्ज अ फिक्स चार्ज एज सच गाइस. वी डिड इन 1 or 2 क्वेश्चन जहां पे फिक्स चार्ज वाज 100 रुपीज. करेक्ट, 100 रुपए था बेटा. सो यू हैव टू रिकवर ऑल ऑफ दीज चार्जेस फ्रॉम द कस्टमर. इन केस ऑफ अर्ली डिलीवरी, बैंक शिल चार्ज इंटरेस्ट गाइस ऑन आउटले ऑफ फंड्स एट अ रेट नॉट लेस देन 12%. Swap difference beta will be 80. Forward rate is 85.42, 85.32. So he's entering into forward purchase contract, spot sale contract, 20,000. It will be the difference between 85.42 and 85.22. In MCQ में compulsory fixed charge भी option है तो mark करना. He has a right to recover that. He is asking us normally क्या क्या रहता. All of these are the charges that he has to incur. Guys, swap loss अभी के लिए बेटा नोट्स में क्या लिखोगे? It's the difference between 85.42 and 85.22. This into $1 lakh. How much will that be? 20,000. We did the same question in the class. That will be the swap loss. What will be interest on outlay of funds? Customer originally क्या rate पे enter किया? 85.4. So banker is paying the customer 85.4, but banker is selling in the spot market at 85.22. But a banker sell cheste, banker in turn becomes customer in the interbank market. Correct guys? So that will be interest के लिए बेटा 85.4 minus 85.22 into $1 lakh. कितना है बेटा? To take delivery on 30th November and originally beta it is expiring on 31st December. So this multiplied by 12% into 31 by 365 days. 183.45. This is payable by the customer. 180. ये समझ में आया ना? नहीं आया तो याद रखना, एक बार notes go through करो. But interest on outlay is always computed on the transactions that is based on rupees. Swap loss के लिए you should only check because of us what are the 2 additional contracts that the banker is entering into, and that will give us swap loss. Net inflow guys, banker will take as per originally contracted rate, banker will recover swap loss, banker will recover 183 rupees. 85 लाख 40,000 रुपीज कस्टमर को देना है, बट बैंकर हैज टू रिकवर अ स्वॉप लॉस ऑफ 20,000, बैंकर हैज टू रिकवर 183 रुपीज इंटरेस्ट. थर्ड ऑप्शन 3, 85 lakhs 19,817. This is early delivery, guys. सेम क्वेश्चंस आते बेटा एग्जाम में, जस्ट अबाउट आवर रिवीजन, प्रॉपर रिवीजन. ठीक है देवेश, ये साल में है ना एग्जाम, एक साल है और. केस सिनारियो 11 गाइस. दिस इज बायलैटरल नेटिंग एंड मल्टीलैटरल नेटिंग. नेटिंग मतलब क्या गाइस? व्हेन डू वी यूज द वर्ड नेटिंग, व्हेन डू वी यूज द वर्ड मैचिंग? We did guys forex में internal hedging techniques, external hedging techniques. Internal hedging techniques में बेटा we did leading, lagging, netting, netting and matching भी करे. Netting क्या है? You have subsidiaries or branches all across the world guys. Matching, you have a customer and you also have a supplier in one country. You have a receivable, you have a payable as such guys. You can match those amounts and then hedge the net amount. Matching is in respect of external receivables, external payables. Netting is in respect of internal outflows as such guys. ये question अपन solve करेंगे बेटा. Here they have given us, if you look at the question, which subsidiary has to pay to whom? All the amounts are in US dollars. ये पूरे paying subsidiaries है बेटा, and these are the ones who have to receive. So I'll just write the amounts once. There is France, Germany, UK, Italy. France, Germany, UK and Italy. France has to pay Germany how much? France, column wise beta is the payer. France has to pay 120. France has to pay UK how much? 160. France has to pay Italy 200. Germany has to pay France how much? Germany has to pay UK 120. Germany has to pay Italy 60. UK beta 120, 80, 120. Italy beta 200, 160, 140. Whenever you do netting beta, पहले अपन करते हैं bilateral netting. Bilateral netting मतलब क्या guys? UK has to pay Germany, Germany has to pay UK. Instead of they exchanging the entire amount, can we net off the amounts? Now please stop writing and listen to the explanation for a minute guys. कुछ नहीं करना बेटा. This is France and Germany. What is the lower of the amounts? Cancel 80 and write the balance 40. Instead of France paying 120 and Germany paying 80, obviously France will pay a net amount of. Next, UK to France 160, 120. क्या करोगे? I'll cancel these two and here I'll write 40. France to Italy guys, Italy to France, exact same amount है. Huh? So do I have to worry better or can I cancel the entire amount here? Cancel the entire amount. Next guys, UK to Germany, Germany to UK, these two amounts. What will I write? 40 here. Next, और कौन बचे सो है? UK to Italy, Italy to UK बेटा, these two. यहाँ पे 20 लिखूंगा, हाँ या ना? Final figure guys, one more. 60 and 160. What will I write? इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Bilateral netting. So after bilateral netting guys, what will be the figures? France, Germany, UK and Italy dash 40, 40 dash Germany better dash 40 dash UK dash 0, Italy better dash 120 dash. So this way such better the total payment is such guys. France has to pay how much? 80. Germany has to pay 40. Italy has to pay 120. ये receive में बेटा first वाला France है, next Germany है, next UK है, next Italy है. France has to pay how much? 0. Germany has to pay, sorry, Germany has to receive 140. UK has to receive 100. This is 0. This is after bilateral netting. Now let us see guys, France has to pay 80, receive 0. So net payable for France कितना हो जाएगा? Net payable for France बेटा is 80. 80 minus 0, 80. Germany का देखो बेटा, Germany has to pay 40 but receive net receivable for Germany guys. Instead of exchanging that entire amount as such beta, can they exchange the net difference? Are you getting the point? 140 minus 40 beta, 100. UK guys, UK has 0 payable but has to receive. So there is net receivable beta for UK. How much is the amount? 100. Italy guys, net payable for Italy 120. It doesn't have to receive anything. So what is the final amount that they have to exchange? Only 200. There's a payable of 200, there's a receipt of 200. अभी एक बार क्वेश्चन देख लो, तुम लोग डिटेल में लिखोगे ये. Before applying multilateral netting, it is necessary to apply bilateral netting. Through multinational netting, guys, these transfers will be reduced to 200,000. Did we not get 200,000? बेटा अभी आया ना, total receipt, total payable. Net payment or net receipts for France after netting off shall be, for France beta net payable is 80. The net payment or receipts for Italy after netting off shall be, net payable beta for Italy is 120. Suppose if the transfer charge are 0.01% of the amount transferred, by applying multilateral netting, there will be a reduction in overall cost by transfer by how much? If they wouldn't have implemented netting, they would have ended up transferring how much? 1560,000. Yes or no? Instead of transferring 1560,000, they're now transferring 200,000. This multiplied by 0.01%. 1, that's the answer. Net payment है, sorry, I marked the wrong option. ठीक है, ये भी दोनों सेम ही है, you can mark anything. हाँ चलो guys, please copy this guys. ये समझ में आया ना netting? Instead of transferring $15,60,000, we are now transferring only $2 lakh. So transfer amount is reducing by $13,60,000. You are saving 0.01% of that. You copy the original matrix with pencil, keep striking the amounts better, and then write after bilateral netting. This is the answer. If you have pencil, otherwise directly write after bilateral netting. ये original matrix है जिसको अपन cancel करके ऐसे लिख रहे हैं. Online students, I hope you're all following better. For the last bit, guys, what will you write? Fifth bit. Stop blushing, Ankit. Smile करते जा रहा क्या रे तू? ना तू तेरे परिवार पे ध्यान दे, इसके पहले कि वो किसी और का परिवार बन जाए. हाँ, कब बन रहा तू भी बाबा? सीए बाबा तू. आईआईटी बाबा आ गए, अब सीए बाबा आते हैं. यस गाइस, अपने अरे वो बाबा अलग है, सब लोग पहचानते बाबा को, इंटरनल ऑडिट में था. तू भी वही बाबा की बात कर रहा है. यस गाइस, क्वेश्चन नंबर 12 बेटा. XYZ, we did the exact same question again guys. So हाँ, we know नहीं, थोड़ा requirement अलग है, so we do not know. XYZ need funds as such guys for a short tenure. Some functional level manager suggested about the bank credit or overdraft option. On confirming from finance department, it was found that the company exhausted its credit limits due to meeting recent contingency fund requirements. So they suggested the idea of floating commercial papers by XYZ. Accordingly, XYZ is planning to issue commercial paper, the details of which are given below. 97,550. Any money market instrument as such case is always issued at a discount to face value and redeemed at face value. Because the period is less than 1 year, there will not be concept of paying coupon. Coupon कब pay करोगे? When the maturity period guys is more than 1 year. So you are issuing at 97,550 guys, and then you have a face value of 1 lakh. In दोनों का difference बेटा will be interest. How much बेटा? 2,450 rupees. First bit में the question is important because they're asking us to compute effective interest rate, bond equivalent yield, and then also compute total annual cost of funds. Same requirement class question में भी था. Because total cost of funds is being separately asked, you have to first compute effective rate of interest and then add these charges separately. For the first two bits, you will have to ignore these charges. For the third bit, you have to include these charges. कुछ याद आ रहा है? Directly add कर देना. हाँ, very good. So bond equivalent yield or effective interest rate में what's the difference? What is the difference between bond equivalent yield and effective interest rate? Annualize. One is without compounding, the other one is with compounding. I told you beta bond equivalent yield is the word that is used in CFA syllabus, not in our syllabus, but वहाँ पे they use the word only in relation to semi-annual coupon rate. अपने यहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं है. Without compounding, if you are annualizing it, it is called as bond. जैसे बेटा mutual funds chapter में, how do you compute annualized yield? Do you compound it or do you simply multiply by the time period? Multiply by the time period. Indirectly, that is bond equivalent yield only. So first bit के लिए बेटा, first what is the interest rate for 3 months? 2,450. Will you divide by 97,550 or will you divide by 1 lakh? 97,550. It should be divided by net proceeds. कितना आ रहा है? 4 decimal points. 2.511. अभी first question में बेटा, you simply have to write into 12 by 3. 10 point. बेटा it is not for 3 months, it is annualized yield without compounding. मैं भी वही बोला, इसलिए मैं चुप बैठा था. समझ में आया? Bond equivalent yield is still per annum but without compounding it. समझ में आया? Effective interest rate कैसे करोगे? 1 plus 0.025115 whole power 4 minus 1. Are you understanding the difference? Kids, are you understanding the difference? Bond equivalent yield is without compounding. Effective interest rate is with compounding. कितना आएगा आंसर? 10.44. Now to this 10.44%, all you have to do beta is add those other charges. Brokerage is 0.15% into 4. Rating is already per annum. Stamp duty is for 3 months. So again into 4. How much will that become? Whatever is for 3 months, convert into per annum and then add. Kitna beta 12 point? That's the answer. అర్థమైంది కదా? One plus r by m whole power m minus 1. Annualized return. Only then you divide by m. If you already have r for 3 months, you cannot divide by m again. 1 plus r by m whole power m minus 1 is how you arrive at your effective annual rate, guys. But r by m is already 2.5115%. So you will not divide it. I hope you have understood the difference between the second and the third bit. For the first 2 bits, you should not include other charges. For the third bit, you will include other charges. That is how you will arrive at the answer. Correct, Sujal? नींद आ रही है बेटा, शक्ल देख तेरी. Next, guys, 4th bit. हो गया बेटा? Or should I wait for a minute? Wait. यही कर रहा बैठ के. Which of the following instruments cannot be used by a bank to meet its short-term funding requirements? Call or notice money. बैंक सबसे ज्यादा कॉल एंड नोटिस मनी यूज करते हैं बेटा. They are the only ones as such, guys. Call and notice money का मतलब क्या है? 1 to 14 days. Overnight up to 14 days. That is call and notice money as such, guys. It will range from 1 day to 14 days. Certificate of deposit and commercial paper are exactly the same, except the word commercial paper is used when the securities are issued by corporates. The word certificate of deposit is used when they are issued by financial institutions. So the answer is option B, commercial paper. It is not used by a bank. वहाँ पे क्या लिखना है तो क्या लिखोगे? It is in reference to securities issued by companies. They're both same, guys. Both of them will have a maturity of 7 days to 1 year. ये क्या है? Cannot be used by a bank. The word commercial paper is for companies. The word certificate of deposit is for financial institutions. Is that clear? अरे सपने देख रहा क्या रे तू? Maturity beta 7 days to 1 year. Maturity 7 days to 1 year. Repo can be for any period, guys. Call and notice money will be from 1 to 14 days. Certificate of deposit, commercial paper, दोनों का period of maturity will be 7 days to 1 year. Next, guys. This is a theory question, beta. Grow More Limited, an NBFC, is in need of funds and hence it sold its receivables to MAC, Mac Financial Corporation, for rupees 100 million. MFC created, oh my god, Mac Financial Corporation, MFC created a trust for this purpose called General Investment Trust, through which it issued securities carrying a different level of risk and return to the investors. Further, this structure also permits GIT to reinvest surplus funds for short term as per their requirement. MFC also appointed a third party, Safeguard Private Limited, to collect the payment due from obligors and passes it to GIT. It will also follow up with the defaulting obligor and, if required, initiate appropriate legal action against them. Based on the above scenario, answer the following securities. The securitized instrument issued for rupees 100 million by GIT falls under which category? Is it a stripped security, pass-through certificate, or a pay-through security? डेट फंड नाम का चीज ही नहीं है बेटा. वी हैव डन ओनली 3 केसेस सिक्योरिटाइजेशन में. कौन सा कैटेगरी है ये? व्हाई इज इट पीटीएस? Excellent. Different risk return structures and plus the special purpose vehicle is also investing the surplus funds. Pay through certificate में क्या obligation है? जैसे ही पैसा आता है, it is mandatory to distribute it to the investors. It is only a pay through security beta wherein you can invest the surplus funds and pay them only according to the timeline. You do not have to pay them before. So the answer beta is what? PTS. PTS के लिए क्या underline करोगे? Because they have the right to reinvest. That is why it makes it a PTS. It is a PTS. Are we clear? In the above scenario, who's the originator? There's an originator, there's a special purpose vehicle, there are investors. Who's the originator here? हाँ? ग्रो मोर बन गया बेटा अभी, सॉरी मैक फाइनेंशियल कॉर्पोरेशन बन गया, क्योंकि ग्रो मोर सोल्ड इट टू मैक. ग्रो मोर डिड नॉट क्रिएट स्पेशल पर्पस व्हीकल. हु इज क्रिएटिंग द स्पेशल पर्पस व्हीकल? मैक इज क्रिएटिंग द स्पेशल पर्पस व्हीकल. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है गाइस? ग्रो मोर इज नो लॉन्गर देयर बेटा, इट इज मैक. आई थिंक पीछे आंसर बेटा गलती से ए मार्क्ड है, प्लीज चेंज इट टू बी. पेज नंबर 24 पे ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज चेंज द आंसर टू बी. Risk scenario 13, question number 2. Please change the answer to the second bit better to B. Online students who are watching it later, most likely the material that will be circulated better will have the revised answer only. B only. मतलब अगर आंसर B है तो प्लीज डू नॉट चेंज इट. इफ इट इज A, प्लीज चेंज इट टू B. यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन के बाजू लिखना बेटा, एज मैक इज क्रिएटिंग स्पेशल पर्पस व्हीकल. क्वेश्चन के बाजू क्या लिखोगे? Why is the answer Mac बेटा? Because Mac is the one who's creating the special purpose vehicle. In the above scenario, GIT is a special purpose vehicle. अपन क्लास में करे थे याद है, HDFC का इंडिया यूनिवर्सल फंड या कुछ तो भी ऐसा. So here बेटा GIT is the special purpose vehicle. In the above scenario, Safeguard Private Limited is receiving and paying agent. Facilitator. Usually beta it is the bank itself that will be the receiving and paying agent, but यहाँ पे the question is very clear that we have appointed a third party beta to collect the amount, so that is why they will become receiving and paying agent. Which of the following statement holds true? When yield to maturity in market rises, prices also will rise. What is the relation between prevailing interest rates and price of a bond? Inverse relationship. कौन से में आ रहा है inverse? Option B. वहां पे लिख लेना बेटा, इनवर्स रिलेशन. इनवर्स रिलेशन. नेक्स्ट वन इज ऑल्सो अ थ्योरी क्वेश्चन गाइस. सो गया था वो. हाँ हाँ अभी थोड़ी देर में ब्रेक बेटा. लेट्स फिनिश ऑल द केस सिनेरियोस, विल टेक अ ब्रेक सून. You are a financial analyst at a prominent investment firm and have been tasked with empirically verifying the weak form of market hypothesis. There are 3 tests for weak form market hypothesis guys. Filter test, yaad hai? If you have done the class as such guys, there is run test, serial correlation test and filter rules test. These are the 3 tests. The first one guys, for the past 5 years you collected daily price changes of the stocks in XYZ stock index. You calculated correlation coefficients. आगे पढ़ने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. When you are calculating correlation coefficients based on past data, it is auto correlation test or serial correlation test, one and the same. So the answer to the first bit beta is serial correlation. Test 2, you further investigated the randomness of price changes. Analyzing the sequence of daily price changes, you counted the number of runs. This is run test. Option test 2 beta is option C. हुआ तुम्हारा security analysis? Test 3 guys, you implemented a simple trading rule. कौन सा टेस्ट है बेटा ये? टेस्ट 3 सिंपल ट्रेडिंग टेस्ट, मतलब फिल्टर रूल्स टेस्ट. ऑप्शन बी guys. Filter rules test should not be applied for buy and hold strategy if the behavior, answer will be option D better, the ones who haven't done. The behavior of the stock price changes as random. अगर randomly price move हो रहा है, then you cannot use filter rules better to basically buy and hold strategy better will be for a longer period, then it will not give you superior returns. Results of your study as such, guys. Results of your study क्या है? It says that supports a weak form efficient for XYZ stock index. You concluded that they do not reliably predict future price movements. That means, beta, past prices will not impact your future price. If past prices do not affect your future prices, it is random walk theory. Random walk theory बोलता है बेटा stock market can move like a drunkard person. It can go in any direction. So technical analysis does not work is what is given under random walk theory. So that is option C. Next case scenario 15. This is in relation to a repo. Break दूंगा बेटा जल्दी, शक्लें थोड़ी ठीक से बनाना please. Once you're not feeling well. Bank A is in need of fund for a period of 14 days. To meet this financial need on 20th September 2023, Bank A enters into an agreement with Bank B under which it will sell 10% government bonds issued on 1st Jan 2023 at 5.65%. 10% is the coupon rate of the government bonds. Repo ka interest rate is 5.65%. Excellent. Face value of each bond is 10,000 rupees. Clean price of the bond is 9942. Initial margin is 2%. Maturity date of the bond is 31st December. Consider 360 days in a year and interest is payable annually. Consider 360 days here. We cannot help it. We will have to consider 360 days only. The arrangement entered into between Bank A and Bank B beta is called as repo transaction. So, वो कौन सा है repo? Repurchase option. Dirty price of a bond will be how much? To compute dirty price of a bond, guys, you have to first compute accrued interest. Bond कब issue हुआ था? 1st Jan. When are we entering into repo transaction? 20th September. Can someone count dates from 1st Jan to 19th September? 1st Jan to 19th September, beta, number of days. 262 days. 20th नहीं लेना है, 19th लेना है. How much will be your accrued interest, beta? 10,000 rupees into coupon rate is 10%, no? Coupon rate कितना है बेटा? Into 262 divided by 360 करना, guys. Why divided by 360? Question says consider 360 days in a year. कितना हो जाएगा ये? 7. इसके हिसाब से 728. Correct, guys? Guys, how did we get accrued interest clear? When was the bond issued? 1st Jan. अपन 1st Jan से अभी तक accrued interest मतलब क्या कहें? Still date, how much has the interest been accrued? So what will be the dirty price of the bond, beta? This will be clean price 9942 plus 728. How much will that become, beta? 10,670. Dirty price of the bond will become clean price plus accrued interest. Are we clear about this? Start proceeds of the transaction shall be how much, guys? Start proceed कैसे करोगे? Can you tell me how many bonds, beta, first? 8 crores divided by. A lot of you made a mistake, guys, in the test that we wrote. First test में ये question दिया था मैं repo transaction का. Lot of you made mistakes with number of bonds, price, everything. 8 crores divided by 10,000. Number of bonds in the 8,000 bonds. Ab beta start proceed will be, what is the price of each bond? 10,670 into 8,000 minus 2%. Why minus 2%? Initial margin. Initial margin is not your expenditure. It is the amount that they deduct, beta, because price of bonds can always fluctuate. You forgot the whole concept? Are you trying to recollect, beta? कितना आ जाएगा ये 8 crores? Option B, guys. How will you get second leg of the transaction? Add interest at what rate? Repo rate. Repo rate in the 5.65%. For how many days? 14 days. Excellent. 10,760 बेटा अपना dirty price of the bond. अभी तो कंप्यूट करे. Start proceeds मतलब अभी कितना exchange कर रहे हो तुम लोग. You will exchange the current market value of the bonds but subject to a margin of 2%. On this loan amount, you will have to pay interest at what rate? 5.65%. For how many days? 14 days. If you add interest at the rate of 5.65% for 14 days, guys, you will get how much is to be repaid. Option A. 8 crore 38 lakhs change. क्या डाउट है मान? Guys, repo transaction, for those who do not remember, guys, you have to exchange the current market value of the bond, which will be given by dirty price and not clean price. But that dirty price means you have to remove margin. This is the loan amount. On this loan amount, you have to add interest at repo rate, not at the coupon rate. Because I am actually borrowing at 5.65%. I'm not borrowing at 10%. I'm bank A. And let us assume Man is bank B. I'm giving him bonds whose face value is 8 crores. We are not exchanging 8 crores. We will exchange market value of this bonds subject to a margin of 2%. So I'm giving him bonds. He will give me money. I will have to repay him along with an interest of 5.65% for 14 days. Obviously, I will pay interest only on the amount that is giving me. That is after deducting 2% margin. So let us say, guys, that you have a house worth 100 rupees. You want to take a loan against that. Banker ka rule is loan to value ratio cannot exceed 80%. So bank is giving you a loan of 80 rupees. Indirectly, bank is retaining a margin of 20%. Will banker charge interest on 80 rupees or 100 rupees? Exactly same thing, better. What we are exchanging today, on that they will charge interest at the rate of 5.65% for 14 days. That is repo transaction. Are we clear? Next question, guys. We did the exact same question, beta, in the class, if you recall. Beta, aggressive stock, defensive stock as such, guys. So, because there are only two values given, beta, change in value divided by change in this will become beta. Because there are only two values given. 40 minus 4 divided by 25 minus 7. 2. दूसरे वाले का 18 minus 9 divided by 25 minus 7. Answer beta of defensive stock is 0.5. Beta of aggressive stock beta will be 40 minus 4 divided by 25 minus 7, that is 2. Beta of defensive stock beta will be 18 minus 9 divided by 25 minus 7, that is 0.5. What will be market return beta? RM, average of 7 and 25. Average of 7 and 25, 16. Return of aggressive stock, 22. Return of defensive stock, 13.5%. Equally likely है बेटा वो. We did exact same question. कभी भी doubt आए, you can always open materials बेटा, वो notes and check. First bit का answer is 0.5. Market expected return of aggressive stock बेटा will be 22%. Alpha of defensive stock, you will have to, this is not Jensen's alpha, guys, you have to go as per Sharpe's model. Sharpe's model मतलब कौन सा? Characteristic line. Excellent बेटा, proud of you. Y bar is equal to alpha plus beta x bar. Y bar यहाँ पे security return है 13.5%. Alpha plus defensive stock का beta कितना है? 0.5. X bar मतलब market return 16%. Can someone compute alpha? 0.5 मतलब 8, 8 minus 13.5. Alpha will be 5.5. ये लिख लेना. Third. All the bits are normal. Please write the answer to the third bit. That this is as per which model? As per Sharpe's model. This is not Jensen's alpha. As per Sharpe's model, when you compute alpha beta, it is characteristic line. Y bar is equal to alpha plus beta x bar. क्या हुआ क्या? Why did we consider? Usually they specify better, they did not. तो यहाँ पे I'm doing this. Class में I made you do two questions. एक में recent examination question November 2023 to be more specific. They clearly wrote as per Sharpe's model. So this is where better we have to understand that their intention is to now ask alpha. ऐसे questions are based on Sharpe's model. Modern portfolio theory was given by Markowitz. As per capital market line theory, portfolios lying on the CML over the market portfolio are called there were two things. One is above the market return, one is below the market return. Below the market return matlab beta your return that you are generating is less than market return. When will you generate less than market return? When you invest a part of your portfolio in risk-free securities. So lending portfolio is below the market return. Above the market return, when will you generate a higher return than the market? When you borrow at risk-free rate and invest more. Do you remember this explanation? Below अगर capital market line है, तुम लोग risk-free securities में invest कर रहे हो. If it is above the market return, you are borrowing at risk-free rate and investing more in equity markets. We also did all of this in hedging using risk-free securities. In hedging under risk-free securities, guys, if you want to increase your portfolio beta, what will you do? Borrow at risk-free rate and invest more in equity. If you want to reduce your portfolio beta, sell equity and invest in risk-free securities. So what will be the answer to this? Borrowing portfolio. You will generate more return than market return, guys, if you borrow and invest more. If you want, you can write that sentence. We will generate more return only if you borrow at risk-free rate and invest more. We will invest more in equity. Next question, guys. Skip the question. Case scenario 17. Class में ही 2 बार करे अपन. Same question था. Same numericals. Reverse calculation याद है ना? Dividend use करके बेटा annualized yield को we have to convert that into returns. Question number 18 also, guys. Skip. Exact same question done in the class mutual funds chapter. एक बेटा question 18 में 4th bit देखो and 5th bit. I repeat, question 17, question 18, we did the exact same question in the class based on mutual funds. That is why we're skipping it. Question number 18, can you look at the 4th bit? Which of the following statements about expense ratio is or are incorrect? It is a percentage of income that were spent to run a mutual fund. Correct hai. This is what beta you are spending. It includes advisory fees, travel costs, registrar fees, custodian fees. Yes, whatever amounts that you're paying to the asset management company. It includes brokerage costs for trading of portfolio. Incorrect. Brokerage cost beta will not be included in expense ratio. It will be included in computation of return from your shares only. So this is the incorrect value. Answer क्या बेटा फिर? Only 3. Dash considers and uses downside deviation instead of total standard deviation. कौन सा रेशियो? क्लास में पढ़ाया था बेटा मैं. Evaluation of mutual funds में we did Sharpe's ratio, guys. Sortino ratio. Sharpe's ratio considers total standard deviation. Sortino ratio considers only downside का standard deviation. All right. Let's take a break of 5 minutes, guys. Online students, we have a break of 5 minutes. G Drive students, there's no break. The recording continues. Alright guys, it continues. Question number, kaun se tha beta? 19 guys now. It says you as an investor has purchased a 4-month European call option on the equity shares of X Limited for rupees 10. For rupees 10 matlab kya guys? Option premium is 10 rupees. Of which the current market price is 132 per share and the exercise price is 150 rupees. You expect the price to range between 120 to 190 rupees. Expected share price of X and related probabilities given below. How will you compute expected share price, guys? Multiply each of the prices by the corresponding probabilities. Yes or no, guys? Can someone calculate better on that calculator and tell me the answer? 1. No, अन्नी MCQ చేసి వచ్చేసిన already. నేను material ఎప్పుడు ఇచ్చినాం కదరా? तो चुप बैठ. नोर मुझको तू ही बोली थी ना उसको. Suppose guys, second bit, if the exercise price prevails, what do you understand by the word exercise price prevails? We did the exact same question in the class. इसका मतलब क्या है? The price on expiry, guys, is equal to strike. Strike and exercise price are same. LTD, LI, MITED, same kada. Likewise, beta, strike price and exercise price are one and the same. There is no difference, guys, between strike price and exercise price. What you have to understand here, beta, is that price on expiry is equal to strike price. If price on expiry is equal to strike price, that means option will be in the money, at the money, or out of the money? At the money. If the option is at the money, what will be the value of option? 0. Option will have a value on expiry only if it is in the money. यहाँ पे बेटा it is at the money. Second bit का मतलब है बेटा that your price on expiry is equal to strike price. Because price on expiry is equal to strike price as such, guys, you will get 0 value. In case the option is held to maturity, what is the expected value of the call option? Will you compare expected price on expiry with strike price, or will you compare individual prices? Remember I told you beta, this is expected gains approach. We did 5 option valuation models: theoretical minimum price, expected gains, binomial model, risk neutralization model, Black-Scholes model. ये कौन सा method है? Expected gains approach. Do we have that as per ICI study material? No. As per ICI material, there are only 3 things: binomial, risk neutralization, and Black-Scholes model. So यहाँ पे you have to compare individual values. At 120, will you exercise call option with a strike price of 150? No. Call option is exercised only when price on expiry is greater than strike price. So at 120, value of option is 0. At 140, at 160, 10 rupees. At 180, at 190, you multiply 10 with 0.5, 30 with 0.1, 40 with 0.15. That will become expected value of call option. I'm pretty sure Kaushik is ready with the answer. Next time से क्या बोल रहे? मेरे को लगा नेक्स्ट टाइम से इनकी मत सुनो. मैं बोला तू कब से इनकी बोल के शुरू कर रही बोल के. Question number 4. In the given different scenarios of expected prices at the time of maturity, the option shall be in the money in how many cases? In how many cases is the option in the money, guys? 3 cases. Correct, Saurav? In how many cases is the option at the money? 0. Out of the money, 2 cases. At the money, 0 case. In the money, 3 cases. Yes or no, kids? Question number 20, guys. Suppose you are a risk manager of a financial institution. ये अलग है बेटा question. We did only the theory concept of this in class. CDS, credit default swap. याद है? Credit default swap beta is wherein you enter into an agreement just in case a default occurs as such, guys. You're going to exchange your credit risk as such, guys, with another party to whom you have paid premium. It's like taking insurance. Settlement can be physical settlement, it can be cash settlement. Physical settlement में बेटा you exchange the underlying instrument only and take the cash value today. Cash settlement में you will take the net difference amount in cash. याद आ रहा है कुछ? Suppose you are a risk manager at a financial institution and your company has loaned a significant amount of 500 crores to a company X Limited for a period of 3 years at 6 months. For a period of 3 years at 6 months MCLR plus 2%. ठीक है? The period of loan is how many years? 3 years. You are concerned about X ability to repay the debt due to recent market volatility. To protect your institution from potential default, you decide to purchase a credit default swap from ABC Bank for the same notional amount at a premium quoted at 1% per year through cash settlement. Underline the word cash settlement, underline 1% per year. Now first bit. The primary purpose of a credit default swap is obviously better to protect against default risk. Which of the following statement is true about CDS contracts? CDS contracts cannot be used for speculation. Yes, better. The primary objective is to hedge. That does not mean you cannot use it for speculative purpose. CDS contracts are governed by government regulations. They are over-the-counter contracts as such, guys, between 2 parties directly. They are private agreements between 2 parties. Yes. Option C beta is correct. They eliminate all risk for the buyer. No. You still have interest rate risk as such, guys. And what if the other party beta with whom you have entered into credit default swap itself defaults? Can there be a risk? Which organization? ये अपने नहीं किए थे बेटा. मतलब which organization ये है भी नहीं. The answer beta is International Swap and Derivative Association. International Swap and Derivative Association. It's easier, guys. World Trade Organization obviously will not do. Securities and Exchange Commission is in respect to US markets, not in relation to Indian markets. Federal Reserve, guys, US again. So यहाँ पे the only option beta is International Swap and Derivative Association. Assuming no default occurs, what is the total premium your company will pay? What is the loan amount, beta? 500 crores. We are paying premium at what rate? 1% per annum. For how many years? 3 years. कितना हो जाएगा बेटा? 15 crores. Suppose if the lender defaults somewhere in the beginning of third year of loan after payment of interest up to 2 years and the market value of reference loan falls to 75% of its par value, then ABC will pay your company in cash settlement how much? 1? Perfect beta. Book value of loan कितना है? 500 crores. Market value is how much? It has come down to 75%. So it is 75% guys of 500 crores, 375. अगर physical settlement होता, we would have given the total loan and received 375 crores. So sorry, you'll receive the entire 500 crores. I'm extremely sorry, but you'll receive the entire 500 crores. Because it is cash settlement, you will now receive net difference in cash. The market value of the loan is still 375 crores. You will receive 125 crores from the other company. Total amount beta will become 500 crores. वो लिखना बेटा clearly. Write it somewhere, but clearly mention the answer to the 4th and 5th bit. It is cash settlement. Had it been physical settlement, you would have given the underlying bonds or the loan beta and received how much? Entire 500 crores. Same. Abhi clear guys? लिख लिया बेटा. Next question. This is based on advanced capital budgeting beta. Sensitivity analysis. Yes. I'm skipping this because we did exact same question in the class beta. Can I skip this? Numericals भी same है beta. Exact same है. This question was given in your first test, bond valuation pe, but we will still solve it guys. You are an investment analyst working for a financial advisory firm. You have been asked to analyze the bonds market yield curve to assist your clients in making investment decisions. The yield curve represents the relationship between interest rates and time to maturity for debt securities, usually government bonds. For simplicity, assume the following yield data for government bonds over various maturities. Yields are increasing with an increase in maturity period guys. Which type of yield curve is this? What are the different types of yield curves? Upward sloping is also known as normal yield curve. Usually better, longer the maturity period, higher will be the yield. Next, downward, inverted, yes or no guys? Downward is where the short term interest rates are very high as such guys, and then the interest rates will gradually decrease. And then flat yield curve, where irrespective of the maturity period, interest rates better remain constant. Then humped yield curve. Usually interest rates are increasing after a specific maturity as such guys, interest rate starts to decrease. The main characteristic of a normal yield curve is, when you say normal yield curve as such beta, we are talking about which one? Upward sloping. Upward sloping ka what is the main characteristic guys? Short term yields will be lower. Short term yields are higher. Ye kisme hai? Downward sloping, also known as inverted yield curve. They remain same, flat. Fluctuate randomly is not humped yield curve guys. Humped yield curve mein it should start declining again. Inverted U. Based on the revised yield data, what is the yield spread? What do you understand by the word spread? Difference. Excellent. They're asking us the difference between 10-year and 1-year bond. 10-year ka interest rate kitna hai? 7%. 1 year ka? So the answer is 7 minus 3. 4%. An inverted yield curve guys typically indicates an upcoming recession. When there is recession as such guys, yes or no beta? If an investor is looking to invest for 2 years, for starting 3 years from now, अपन class में जो भी forward rates compute किए बेटा, we always did for 1 year. But here they are asking us to compute forward rate for, this is F32. after 3 years for a period of 2 years. This is what they're asking us to compute. How will you do this? 1 plus SO5 whole power 5 is equal to 1 plus SO3 whole cube into 1 plus F32 whole power 2. You can just write that relation. 1 plus SO5 whole power 5 will be equal to 1 plus SO3 whole power 3 into 1 plus F32 whole power 2. हो गया. Next bit, guys. If an investor is looking to invest for 2 years, starting 5 years from now, what do you have to compute? F2, also known as 5 cross 7 FRA. How will I establish the relation? 1 plus SO7 whole power 7 is equal to 1 plus SO5 whole power 5 into 1 plus F2 whole power 2. This will be the relation. अरे माइक दो. पूरी क्लास तेरे को देख रही और तेरे को रियलाइज भी नहीं हो रहा, तो इतना जोर से गा रहा बोल के. Yes, guys. Are you all done? Next, better. This question we did an equity share valuation, guys. Exact same question. Nothing different, but I will still want to do the first bit. First bit is different. It says 10% bonds must have been. Guys, same question kare. Whenever you're going through the notes, you will be able to get the answers. Don't worry. Numericals are also same. Only the first bit is slightly different. It says 10% bonds must have been issued in the month of. For this, ye relevant hai. 8% debentures, 10% bonds, and effective interest rate. क्लास में अपन डायरेक्टली 175 into 8% बोल के लिखे थे. I said because effective interest rate is given, you will have to ignore this interest rate. I gave you a note also. I said directly multiply. So guys, debentures total interest कितना रहेगा? 175 multiplied by 8%. Effective interest rate के हिसाब से कितना हो जाएगा? 14. How much is interest on debentures, guys? 125 into 8%. How much will that be? The leftover beta is interest on bonds, and they have also specified in brackets 2022. मतलब they were issued during the current year. Now guys, bonds का face value कितना है? 50. 50 के ऊपर 10% would have been your interest for the entire year. This into x months by 12 months should be equal to 4. Interest not for the year, guys. You are computing only for this. 4 by 5, guys. कितना आता? 0.8 years. That is 9. अच्छा, तुम लोग डायरेक्टली मंथ्स में करे ना, मैं इंटू बाई 12 करा, मैं 4 by 5 करा बेटा. 0.8, that is 9.6 months, approximately 10 months. Can you reverse calculate from 31st March बेटा, 10 months पहले? June. Somewhere after 1st June बेटा, 9.6 months है ना. The bonds must have been issued. 2 महीने छोड़ना बेटा, अप्रैल में. रिवर्स कैलकुलेट से अच्छा 2 महीने छोड़ो ना. मार्च, फेब, जैन, दिसंबर. The answer beta will be June 2022. Understood? Rest 4 bits I am ignoring because you already did that. You skip, sir. We are happy. You can skip the entire material so we won't mind. You will not mind it now, beta. You'll mind it later. I don't have one, but I'll share it. मतलब अभी इसमें नहीं है. Evaluated answer sheet. ऑब्वियसली जिसको 90 प्लस आते ना उसका ही बताता हूँ, तेरी थोड़ी बताऊंगा. यस गाइस. नेक्स्ट बेटा. Indian exporting firm Rohit and Brothers exported goods worth $1 million Australian dollars to an importer in Sydney. Guys, we did the same question, but we did with a different figure. नाम same था, Rohit and Brothers ही था वहाँ पे भी. So, Rohit and Brothers are worried about the likely depreciation of AUD in near future, as it is likely that the export sum will be received after 3 months. Today, as such, there is no derivative contract available in AUD to hedge itself. The following data is given. When interest rates in two different countries are given, guys, which hedging technique can we use? उसको नाम क्या है उसका? Money market hedge. Correct बेटा. You should deposit in one currency, borrow in the other currency, guys. So we did forward hedge, we did futures hedging, we did option hedging, we did money market hedge. Forward hedge is directly delivery settled. Futures hedging is mandatory cash settlement on expiry. Option hedging, beta, depending on the prices, we will see whether it is cash settled or this thing. If you have a payable, you will enter into a call option. If you have a receivable, you will enter into a put option. And then option premium paid upfront beta should be converted, which should take borrowing cost. Do you remember all of that in Forex? So यहाँ पे beta, which hedging technique can we use? Money market hedge. You have a receivable in Australian dollars. So under money market hedge, what will you do? Create a payable in AUD. How much payable will you create, guys? First bit, second bit ka answer beta will be create a payable in AUD. What is the interest rate beta in AUD? So x plus x into 5% into 3 by 12 should be equal to 1 million AUD. You will have to create a payable, guys. You will borrow x amount of dollars. That x along with interest on x for 3 months should be equal to the amount that you have to receive. 1 million AUD. How much will be the answer, guys? कितना आ रहा है? देखो बेटा, दो ऑप्शन AUD में, दो ऑप्शन रुपीज में. रुपीज वाला आंसर हो नहीं सकता, 1 मिलियन आंसर हो नहीं सकता. द ओनली ऑप्शन लेफ्ट इज 9,87,000. 987,654. 1 मिलियन बेटा इज 10 lakhs. 654 आगे 0.321. अच्छा, ऐसे अच्छा सीक्वेंस आ रहा. ठीक है, कैलकुलेटर फ्रेम करा ले. हाँ, next guys, what will you do with the borrowed AUD, guys? Convert at spot rate and deposit in rupees, guys. What's the spot rate, guys? 987,654 into 56. How much will this be? चेक करो भाई कोई. हाँ, 55308,642 है. तुम लोग पॉइंट्स भी ले रहे ना आगे. हाँ, मैं इग्नोर कर रहा हूं, मैं ऊपर वाला आंसर लेके मल्टीप्लाई कर रहा हूं ताकि वो मैच होना. 624, वो 0.321 फैंसी नंबर हटा रहा हूं मैं. हाँ, हाउ मच विल यू रिसीव, गाइस, आफ्टर 3 months? It will be 55308,624. On that, interest rate in rupees is how much? 12% for 3 months, guys. एक ही ऑप्शन है, 56,67883. हाँ हाँ, ये दोनों रुपीज में लोअर रुपीज वाला आंसर रहना और हायर रुपीज वाला आंसर मैच्योरिटी पे रहना, क्योंकि पूरे ऑप्शंस में अमाउंट सेम है. अगर पूरे ऑप्शंस में अमाउंट्स अलग होते हैं ना, ऐसे लॉजिक से मत जाओ. इफ द ऑप्शंस इन ऑल द बिट्स आर सेम, देन यू कैन गो बाय दिस लॉजिक, यू विल गेट द राइट आंसर. बेटा उससे अच्छा सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. Next, guys, suppose if interest rate parity theory holds good between INR and AUD, then the forward rate beta for 6 months should be how much? Please underline the word 6 months. They did not ask for 3 months. They're asking for... Ankit, how will you solve this beta? Ayyo, question padna bhi. 56 multiplied by 1 plus 0.12 into 6 by 12 divided by 1 plus 0.05 into 6 by 12. 57.91. Guys, वो 6 मंथ्स इसलिए अंडरलाइन करो बोला मैं क्योंकि बाकी पूरा क्वेश्चन 3 मंथ्स का था, सडन में 6 मंथ्स बोल के दे दिया वहाँ पे वो, बट ऑप्शंस में ठीक है वो 3 मंथ्स का नहीं दिया. स्मार्ट पर्सन होता तो यू वुड हैव गिवन वन ऑप्शन बेस्ड ऑन 3 मंथ्स सो दैट तुम लोग जोश में कैलकुलेट करके मार्क करके आ जाते. करेक्ट देवेश? फुल गुस्से में तू भी आज. अरे खिला तू रे ब्रेकफास्ट आप ऐसे नको कर दो. गुस्से में देख रहा था सबसे मेरे को. मैं कोई प्लान करके नहीं गया, लास्ट में ऐसे उतार के लेके गए मेरे को. सबको बोलता था ना मैं क्लास में पागल दिख रहा हो गया देखो मैं. अरे ऐसे गुस्से में देखते जा रहा तू भी. नेक्स्ट बेटा क्वेश्चन नंबर 25. वी डिड द सेम क्वेश्चन इन द क्लास बट फिर भी एक बार. B is a rational risk taker. He takes his position in a single stock for 4 days in a week. He does not take a position on Friday to avoid weekend effect. P guess होता बोल के हाँ. And takes position only for 4 days in a week. That is Monday to Thursday. He transfers the amount on Monday morning and withdraws the balance on Friday morning. He desires to take maximum exposure in a single stock, where value at risk should not exceed the balance lying in his account. कुछ याद आया करे थे? VAR बेटा is Z score multiplied by standard deviation. यहाँ पे you will take standard deviation for how many days? 4 days. Yes or no बेटा? But अगर information is for that period, you can directly take that amount only. Next, the position by his manager as per standing instructions is taken on the free balance lying in the bank account in the morning on each Monday. Standing instructions दिया हुआ है that you have to transfer the entire amount. On Monday morning, he has transferred 11 crores to his bank account. A fixed deposit also matured. Maturity amount was 63,42,560. However, Mr. B received the intimation of the same in the evening. Even if it's received intimation in the evening, what did I tell you? Because it is as per standing instructions. Amazing guys, you remember that. You will have to still use that 63 lakhs also. Bank needs to maintain a minimum balance of 1,000. So the amount that will be available for investment beta will be 11 crores 63 lakhs 41,560. Z score beta at 99% is 2.33. Standard याद रखने के लिए. Guys, Z score 2.33 covers 50% on profit side and 49% on loss side. Expected return guys for stock X. All you have to do beta is multiply the returns with the corresponding probabilities. कर लोगे ना? Last bit का answer guys. In which stock should Mr. B invest to maximize his returns while maintaining his VAR within maximum limits, within acceptable limits? Same question in our class beta was, in which stock can you invest higher? मतलब VAR कम रह के ज़्यादा ट्रेड कर सकते हो. यहाँ पे बेटा the answer should be based on coefficient of variation. उतना लिख लो बस है. Answer should be based on you have to maximize returns while maintaining risk. So that is why the answer should be based on coefficient of variation. Last bit is different from what we did in the class. In the class, they have asked us to compute maximum possible amount. यहाँ पे बेटा we have to decide based on both return as well as risk. If it is both return as well as risk, you have to do it on the basis of coefficient of variation. अदर रासना रखड़ा based on coefficient of variation अने daydreamers. Next question, exact same beta in advanced capital budgeting. Skip. Inflation के साथ याद है ना? Consider nominal cash flows discount at nominal discounting rate. यहाँ पे revenue rates are different. How will you do? 6 lakhs into 1.1. 7 lakhs को ऐसे convert करोगे? 7 lakhs into 1.1 into 1.09. Excellent. Like that, you'll have to do it for all the 4 years. Same question करें बेटा, normal है, ठीक है? Question number 27 also बेटा, same thing. But I will still prefer to just discuss it once. It says A limited has an expected return of 22%, standard deviation of 40%, beta is 0.86. B limited has an expected return of 24%, standard deviation of 38%, beta is 1.24. Correlation coefficient between the two stocks is given. Standard deviation of market return is given. I'll just write better information. A limited, B limited. Return कितना है बेटा A limited का? 22%. This is 24%. Standard deviation 40% and 38%. Next बेटा. Beta. हाँ. Beta of stock A बेटा is 0.86, this is 1.24. Correlation between A and B is 0.72. Market standard deviation is 20%. फर्स्ट बिट क्या पूछ रहा है बेटा? पोर्टफोलियो रिटर्न. हाउ विल यू कंप्यूट? व्हाट इज द वेट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट गाइस? 70% in A, 30% in B. 30% in B limited, 70% in A limited. पोर्टफोलियो रिटर्न कैसे करोगे? Weighted average. Exact same question, exact same numericals, exact same requirements also we did in the class. This will be how much better? 22.6%. Standard deviation of investors' portfolio. How will you compute portfolio risk? Which model will you use? Sharpe's index model or modern portfolio theory? Preference modern portfolio theory. How will you do that beta? Weight of A into standard deviation of A square, weight of B into standard deviation of B square. Because R is given, what will I write? 2 weight A, weight B into standard deviation of A into standard deviation B into R. This is how you will answer the second bit. Yes or no, kids? 0.7 into 40 whole square, 0.3 into 38 whole square, plus 2.7, 0.3, 40, 38 and 0.72. అయిపోయిందా కౌశిక్? ఫైనల్ ఆన్సర్ చెప్తున్నావా? 37.06. That is option C guys, approximately 37%. How will you compute covariance using correlation coefficient? R का फॉर्मूला क्या है? Covariance between A and B divided by product of standard deviations. Therefore, covariance between A and B beta will be equal to 0.72 into 40 into 38. कितना है आंसर? మొత్తం ఆన్సర్ చెప్పు. 0.72 into 40 into 38 चाहिए. 0.4 into 0.38 चाहिए. 0.4. Now please listen guys, because the answers are on in decimal points, divide by 10,000. Because covariance is square. ये percentage square है. याद आ रहा है कुछ? As options are in decimal points, divide by 100 or 10,000? Divide by 10,000. So the answer will become 0.1094. Covariance is 1094 beta, the answer will become 0.1094. हो जाता बेटा, उतना टाइप नहीं है. ऐसे ही बोला मैं 12:30 नहीं जाता तब तक. अपन ऑलरेडी 27th वाले में आ गए. कहाँ क्लास आया नहीं एक दिन? तू नहीं ऐसा सामने वाले. हाँ? तो सुन रहा पक्का? कौन से जो गाने गा रहा हो? ब्राउन एक्टिवा किसकी है? ब्राउन, गोल्डनिश ब्राउन. नहीं नहीं, किसकी है एक्टिवा? ब्राउनिश गोल्डनिश. सॉरी बेटा. सो गाइस ध्यान दो बेटा. सो फोर्थ एंड फिफ्थ बिट गाइस आर आस्किंग अस टू कंप्यूट रिस्क फ्री रिटर्न बेटा एंड market return. Perfect. We have to assume that the securities are correctly priced and form equations. I'm not writing the final answers, I'm just telling you beta yahan pe you will write 22% is equal to RF plus 0.86 into RM minus RF. 24% is equal to RF plus 1.24 into RM minus RF without yawning. These are the equations that you will solve guys, and you will get value. You just write like this and leave it. You will get the values of RM and RF. ये अलग ही मुस्कुराते जा रहे. इसको समझाओ रे कोई बच्चे को. स्माइल क्यों कर रही बेटा तब से? Question number 28 guys. I'm skipping the question obviously because we did the same question in the class guys. Except the interest rates beta are for 180 days. These are not for per annum. You will directly take beta 4.5%, 5%, 5% and 5.5%. All right. You do not have to write anything into. So this is basically beta question class mein hai. You will be able to refer it, right? Forex mein hedging, guys. One is forward hedge, one is money market hedge, one is option hedging. All of them are covered in the same bit. All right. Yes or no, guys? Question 29 beta. P Limited is planning to borrow an amount of 60 crores for a period of 3 months in the coming 6 months time. From now, in the coming 6 months time from now. The current rate of interest is 9% per annum, but it is likely to go up in 6 months time. You want to borrow after 6 months for a period of 3 months. कौन सा FRA applicable रहेगा? 6 cross 9 FRA. हाँ या ना? Will you pick up lower rate or higher rate? Why higher rate? Borrowing. Remember we did a question beta ऐसा? Deposit and borrowing. So what will be applicable beta for us? 9.3%. Next, it says, what if the actual rate of interest after 6 months turns out to be 9.6%? If it is 9.6% and you already have an option to borrow at 9.3%, are you at a gain or are you at a loss? FRA, do you remember it is settled upfront? याद है नहीं है क्लास में इतना क्लियरली लिखा था इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क मैनेजमेंट में FRA is always settled upfront. That means you have to compute in present value terms. How will you compute in present value terms? कितना है बेटा लोन अमाउंट? 60 crores ना into 9.6% minus 9.3% into how many months? 3/12 divided by, you should always discount at what rate? Reference rate, prevailing interest rate. What is prevailing interest rate? 9.6%. This will become the net settlement. Guys, amount is settled upfront. Guys, notional principal into prevailing rate minus agreed rate into, I said अगर days है तो days लिखो, नहीं तो 3/12 divided by 1 plus prevailing rate into 3/12. Why divided by? Because you're discounting it. It is settled upfront. That is why. How much will be the amount? 4 lakh. Who has to pay to whom? Will P Limited pay or will banker pay? Option C. Banker will pay to P Limited. 4,39,453. Banker should pay P Limited. Why should banker pay beta? P Limited is gaining here. हो गया ये थर्ड बिट देखो गाइस इट सेज इंटरेस्ट रेट टर्न्स आउट टू बी 8.8%. आर वी लूजिंग और आर वी गेनिंग? लूजिंग. 60 crores into 8.8% minus 9.3% into 3/12 divided by what? 0.088 into 3/12. Always discounted prevailing rate. 7. This is payable by P Limited to banker. Option C में बेटा you will write 8.8% minus 9.3%. Yes, kids. Fourth bit better. Which of the following technique is not the modern technique of interest rate risk management? Futures, options, swaps are all exchange traded as such, guys. Swaps be is a modern thing only. क्या था? Only FRA. FRA comes under traditional method. The next case scenario beta is in relation to sustainable growth rate. Please mark it as important, matlab different hai. So this model beta was given by a person called as Higgins. He says sustainable growth rate is the one as such beta that a firm will be able to grow based on the market demand without relying on external funds. मतलब तुम्हारे internal accruals से such guys you will keep reinvesting and you will keep growing your operations. In case you want to depend on external funds, you will have to still try to ensure that you maintain your debt equity ratio constant. मतलब अगर if you are raising additional debt, there should also be additional equity. Are you trying to get the point better? You will not extensively rely only on debt. You will not extensively rely only on equity. This is what we did in the Gordon's model also, guys. When we wrote growth rate as B into R, that was nothing but sustainable growth rate only. Did we not compute two questions better in which we wrote last chapter, if you remember, additional questions mein, general problems where we did sustainable growth rate, I wrote B into R. याद है नहीं है? R we computed, guys, using DuPont analysis also. Net profit margin into asset turnover ratio into equity multiplier. So this is sustainable growth rate, and it also says better the two main components is the capability to grow and the strategy to grow. A firm may have capability but no strategy, it is bound to fail. A firm may have a strategy but it does not have the resources to grow, obviously it is bound to fail. There should be a strategy in place and the firm should also be capable to grow. Only then as such beta firm will be able to succeed. उसके ऊपर बेस बेटा ये बिट्स है, मतलब पूरा theoretical concept है such guys. First bit says concept beta was introduced by whom? Higgins. एक तो नाम याद रख के क्या करना है नहीं मालूम है, बट फिर भी इसके आंसर में क्या दिया हुआ है मालूम है? That the other three models, Markowitz model and Sharpe's model are in relation to portfolio. Black and Scholes is in relation to option. Therefore, the answer is D. But guys, अपने study material में नाम है बंदे का. That this was given by Robert Higgins. Sustainable growth rate as such guys represents the rate at which a company can grow by issuing more equity, the maximum rate of growth in sales that can be achieved without borrowing. The answer is option B. Normally beta you will not borrow additional funds as such guys, but remember in case external funds are raised you have to also increase equity. वो लिखना तो लिख लेना. In case external funds are raised as such guys we should also increase equity. Answer cannot be option C guys because it is not based on market demand. You have to create demand for the product. क्या लिखोगे बेटा क्वेश्चन 2 के बाजू में? In case additional funds are raised we should also issue equity to keep debt equity ratio constant. To keep debt equity ratio constant guys. यहाँ पे एक सेंटेंस है, पूरा क्वेश्चन पढ़ा नहीं मैं. XYZ must avoid expanding too quickly because it would strain its financial resources and lead to excessive borrowing. Growing at a very high, जैसे अदानी बेटा always wanted to grow at a very high rate as such guys, and how were they capable of doing that? Left, right and center, did they not borrow additional funds as such guys? Abhi they are drifting away from that policy beta and they say that we will not heavily rely on debt, but initial growth as such guys was debt, and that is where everyone questioned that this is not sustainable. The company may go bankrupt as such, but if they continuously borrow, they may default on payments. So according to the case scenario, the risk associated with growing too quickly beta is the company might face liquidity issues. You not being able to pay the amounts as such guys is liquidity issues. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? Which of the following twin cornerstones? It is growth capability and growth strategy. What are required for sustainable growth rate is the capability guys and the strategy. In an inflationary condition, if creditors require that XYZ's historical cost debt to equity ratio stay constant, what will happen? अब इसमें क्या होता है बेटा? इस inflationary condition में will prices increase? If prices increase as such guys, will creditors increase? हाँ या ना? That means you need more funds. तुम historical cost के basis पे अगर debt to equity ratio constant रखोगे, will you have access to more funds? No, which will lower your sustainable growth rate. If prices increase, creditors will increase, you will need more funds. But if debt to equity ratio should be constant based on historical cost, we will not be able to raise more funds. If debt to equity ratio should be constant, we will not be able to raise more funds. We will not be able to raise more funds. अब यहाँ से नवंबर 24 के एग्जाम क्वेश्चंस हैं. Guys, इसके पहले के ना बेटा, few of the case scenarios are from May 24 exam, but which one I did not mark because the paper was never officially released by ICAI. It is only from November 24 as such, guys, that they are officially releasing it. So from November 24 I will be marking कि कौन सा है. ये अलग बात है कि वो MCQs लीक हुए थे एग्जाम्स के बाद, MCQ पेपर, इसीलिए एग्जाम के बीच में नहीं बेटा, वो हाँ एक आधे सेंटर में जल्दी निकल गए, but let's not talk about all of that. Yes guys, so ICAI thought we will only release the paper. Prices increase, creditors will increase, but you'll need more funds. If debt equity ratio should be constant in historical terms, we will not be able to raise additional funds. That will lower our growth rate. November 24 के पूरे केस स्टडीज बहुत इजी थे, वेरी सिंपल. हाँ केस सिनारियोज बेटा एग्जाम में दे आर गिविंग स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, पूरे के पूरे प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चन को कन्वर्ट करके दे रहे, कुछ कॉम्प्लिकेट नहीं कर रहे. CA इंटर FM few case scenarios are amazing. They've included one international capital budgeting question in MTP now. Company wants to put up a plant as per double taxation avoidance agreement. 75% of the taxes will be payable in India, 25% tax. क्यों रे उनको जरूरत है? They do not have that syllabus में ही, मतलब वही समझ में नहीं आता. But the case scenarios of CA inter FM, they're framing it really well. जो भी बना रहा है ना बंदा, मस्त दिमाग लगा के, they're combining multiple topics. मजा आता सॉल्व करने में. Company X proposes to take over Y. The chief executive of a company thinks that shareholders always look for earnings per share. Guys, this is a simple question based on mergers and acquisitions. Problem क्या हुआ था बेटा is, okay, it says guys that you have to arrive at exchange ratio based on what? So that the company could keep EPS at the current level. Net profit है बेटा, P ratio MPS है. Can you arrive at EPS? How much will be EPS? 42 by 10.5, 4 rupees. Here beta how much will be EPS? 8.5. Who's taking over whom? X is taking over Y. What should be the exchange ratio? 8.5 is to 4. How much will that be? Options में पूरा 1:2 दिया बेटा वो, बट एक नहीं, पूरे के पूरे ऑप्शंस बेटा उल्टे. हाँ, it should be interpreted as 2.125:1 only. It can never be interpreted as 1:2.125. You can never say that we will issue 1 share for every 2.125 shares. We will still issue 2.125 shares for every 1 share. But हर एक ऑप्शन में उल्टा दिया वो. एग्जाम में कंफ्यूजन नहीं आएगा बेटा, because every option it is the other way around. So the answer is still which one? Option B. How many shares will you issue guys? बेटा ये क्या कर रहे हैं ना ये लोग? Their order of MCQ के questions ना, they're changing. Different sets, but they're not realizing that the answer to one bit is based on answer to compute a number of shares. Shouldn't I first know what is exchange ratio, which is based on EPS? Only based on that I will know the answer to the first bit. But because students they do not want the same MCQs for every student, they're changing the order of MCQs. मतलब मेरे लिए जो केस सिनारियो 1 है, तुम्हारे लिए वो नहीं रहता. तुम्हारे लिए वो केस सिनारियो में भी ऑर्डर ऑफ MCQs will be different. ठीक है, इसीलिए वो कंपलसरी कोड लिखो बोलते ना, वरना सोचो पूरे के पूरे कैलकुलेशन. You have to be very careful. So how many shares will be issued guys? Net profit 15.75 lakhs divided by 8.5. How many shares? 1,85,000. That multiplied by 2.125. Guys, using net profit and EPS, you will get number of shares. Once you get number of shares, हो गया बेटा, थोड़ी है. Using net profit and EPS, you will get number of shares. Number of shares into exchange ratio will give us number of shares to be issued. Understood? Next, if the company borrows funds at 15% rate of interest and buys out target company by paying cash, how much should the company offer to maintain EPS? Your EPS should remain same. That means interest net of taxes should be equal to net profit of target company. जो भी तुम borrow कर रहे हो उसके ऊपर whatever interest that you are paying, this should be equal to what? Net profit of target. Only then your earnings will not change. Cash consideration, we did the exact same question in the class, guys. Same numericals also. समझ में आ रहा है? Pranav, I am not acquiring the other company by issuing shares. I am acquiring the other company by paying cash. तो मेरा denominator will remain same, number of shares. Numerator beta will be 80 lakhs plus 15.75 lakhs. Numerator is 18 plus 15.75 minus interest, because I am borrowing money now, net of taxes, divided by same number of shares. When will your EPS not change? If this answer is 0. Interest net of taxes should be equal to profit of the target company. समझ में आया अभी? So this interest net of, we did question better like this in the class. Cash consideration वाले. If I borrow X rupees at 15%, on which tax rate is 30%, this should be equal to 15.75 lakhs. Kitna X? That's the answer. You should be borrowing 150 lakhs. You understood what I just did? अभी बात कर रहा हूँ बेटा उसके बारे में भी. Are we clear, guys? Case scenario 32, guys. Next. Based on the following information, choose the correct answer from the following questions. Question is nice, beta. They've given us exercise price. This is spot price, but on expiry, obviously. They're telling us that the option was exercised or lapsed. Based on that, we will have to determine whether it is call option or put option. Price on expiry is greater than strike price, and the option was exercised. Is this a call option or is this a put option? Excellent. If spot price is greater than strike price and it is exercised, it means it is a call option. Next wala, spot price beta is less than strike price and it was still exercised. Excellent. It is a put option. Spot price is greater than strike price, but it was lapsed. Call option. We did not exercise, that means it was a call option. That is why we did not exercise. If spot price is more than strike price and it is a call option, won't you exercise? Beta first bit or third bit में क्या difference है फिर? I'm telling call beta. Oh, okay. Spot is greater than strike price in the first bit. Spot is greater than strike price in the last bit. दोनों में same. Spot is greater than strike. Spot is greater than. In one case you exercised it. Arey, I'm so sorry. Huh? I have to compare SH guys with the second case. So you have lapsed SH guys, so that's a put option. Oh my god. Now in situation 2, what was the investor's position? Put option. And then guys, how much will you get on settlement? 25. How much premium did you pay? 15. So put option beta, and amount of profit is 10 rupees. 25 minus 15. अब ये ज़्यादा होशियारी कर रहा है अभी. Guys, 25 minus 15. Situation 1 guys. It is a call option or put option? call option. Difference is 20 rupees. 20 minus 20, 0. Situation 3, lapse. It is a put option and you are suffering a loss of 25 rupees. Premium paid will be loss. Correct, kids? The following information is available in respect of bond 1. ये पूरे अभी last exam के MCQ से बेटा. Aren't they very easy? Now I'm not solving this because this has duration, guys. Duration compute करना आता है. Formula क्या है? Summation xw by summation w. What does x stands for? Perfect. The year in which the cash flow is arising. W stands for present value of cash flow. So they've given us two bonds, but our time to maturities are given. They're expecting us to arrive at price and duration of bond 1, price and duration of bond 2. कोई पीछे आंसर देख के बोलेगा क्या मेरे को क्या है प्राइस एंड, ताकि we will solve the other two bits. हाँ, 4 case studies is 30 marks, no? No individual. Adi chapter kada starting lo last exam lo ivvale datla. There's no compulsion that they should do that. It is their wish. CA Inter is converting questions only into 2 marks MCQs now. Smaller questions instead of asking in the main thing, but that is taking more time because they were usually asked for 4 marks. He is now converting them into a 2 marker question. Literally pura question deke is giving 4 options. Yes beta, what is the answer beta? A and question number 1 A hai, question number 3 B. Now guys, can you compute what is the investment in bond 1 and bond 2? 75% and 25%. How will you compute weighted average duration? 0.75 of 4.43 plus 0.25 of 2.74. This will be weighted average duration. बेटा मैं पीछे आंसर्स देके फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड बिट का आंसर मार्क कर लिया गाइस. अभी हम आई वांट वेटेड एवरेज ड्यूरेशन. व्हाई डू यू वांट वेटेड एवरेज ड्यूरेशन? प्राइस सेंसिटिविटी का मतलब क्या है? बॉन्ड वोलेटिलिटी. हाउ डू यू कंप्यूट बॉन्ड वोलेटिलिटी? ड्यूरेशन डिवाइडेड बाय 1 प्लस YTM. कितना ये वेटेड एवरेज ड्यूरेशन? 4.0075. Now price sensitivity beta is measured by bond volatility, which will be 4.0075 divided by 1 plus YTM. YTM कितना है? 10%. 4.0075 divided by 1.1. Why are the answers given as negative? Price will always move in the opposite direction. If interest rates increase, price will decrease. If interest rates decrease, but a percentage change in price is negative modified duration into percentage change in price of a bond. So the answer is negative 0.3643. New price of portfolio. Jara dhyan dena beta. Is everyone following? You understood the answer to the second bit? All of you stop writing for a minute, guys. ऐसा bit कभी नहीं आया. New price के लिए आप to first compute existing price. But existing तो दो bonds है ना sir. आप to compute weighted average price. 0.75 of 848.34 plus 0.25 of 1000. How much will be the existing price? 886.255. Now guys, using based on duration बोल रहा है ना वो, interest rates are increasing by how much? 0.5%. So price should decrease by 3.643 times of 0.5. Sir, ये 3.643 क्या है? Price sensitivity into 0.5. How much should price decrease by? 1.88215. What do you think will be the revised price now? 886.255 minus 1.8215%. Please write the answer better to the fourth bit and the third bit. We never did weighted average price of a bond. There is no such thing called weighted average price, guys. अपन मल्टीपल बॉन्ड्स ड्यूरेशंस करे. Guys, we did overall duration of a portfolio and everything in the class, guys. We never did weighted average price of a bond. There's no such thing called weighted average price. Why the hell will I come? Imagine, beta, you own shares of Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra. Will you compute weighted average price? अरे हाँ हाँ अपन सब वो कॉपी कर रहे वो लोग. सब लोग रुके सो क्यों कहते, ऐसे ही बैठे सो क्यों कहते. हो गया गाइस, वंश हो गया. छोटे बच्चों जैसे करते तुम लोग. तेरा अटेम्प्ट कब है वंश? और ये फर्स्ट सब्जेक्ट है ना? फर्स्ट वाला खत्म हुआ क्या? Next, guys, Z Limited paid a dividend of 5 rupees for the current year. The dividend is expected to grow at the rate of 25% for the next 6 years and 10% per annum thereafter. Variable growth rate. You have to first take dividends for the first 6 years and then compute price at the end of 6th year. Return of government bond is 13%, market return is 20%. Correlation between market return is 0.3733. Standard D. Instead of giving you beta factor directly as such, guys, they've given us correlation coefficient, they've given us standard deviation of market and stock. Round off to 2 decimal points. All right. From the information given below, calculate, choose the correct answer. एक second bit ये जो है ना बेटा, it is value of perpetuity at the start of the 7th year. मतलब P6. वो 7th year missing है, please write that at the start of the 7th year. Very normal bit. Will you be able to do it? कुछ भी नहीं है, एकदम नॉर्मल है. 10 मार्कर क्वेश्चन था बेटा ये. तो अरे सब लोग बीटा लिख लो बेटा पहले यहाँ पे. बीटा इज आर इनटू स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन ऑफ सिक्योरिटी बाय स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन ऑफ मार्केट. सो इट इज 0.3733. मैं भूल ही गया वो. into 18 divided by 12. कितना है बेटा ये? बीटा is r into standard deviation of security. 0.55.56. 2 decimal places सब कुछ. कहाँ यहाँ है? राउंड ऑफ टू 2 decimal places. कहाँ है कहते हैं? Beta is 0.56 guys. Will you be able to do the remaining part? Or should I present it? अभी हर कुछ we will do. नहीं बेटा, November 24 was pretty basic only. हाँ. Next guys, M Limited has a market capitalization of 3,000 crores and the current earnings per share is 200 rupees with a price earning ratio of 15. Yasha. The board of directors are considering a proposal to buy back 20% of the shares at a premium which can be supported by the financials of the company. The board expects post buyback market price per share of 3057. Post buyback price earning ratio will remain same. The company proposes, बेटा कंपनी प्रपोज कर रही है, अपन को कुछ नहीं करना है, सुनो. Understood no guys? पढ़ा रहा हूँ, we are so busy. Company proposes to fund the buyback by availing 8% bank loan since available resources are committed for expansion plans. If you remember, there was a question in class, वहाँ पे वो wording गलत था. They said that we are taking bank loan only to fund premium. I said नहीं, ऐसा नहीं रहता. It is to fund the entire buyback amount only. So guys, pre-buyback, what is the values given बेटा? Market capitalize, sorry, EPS कितना है? 200. Price earning ratio 15. Market price per share 3000 rupees. Market capitalization 3000 crores. Number of shares 1 crore shares. Beta 200 into 15 per share 3000. Total market capitalization 3000 crores. So number of shares will become 1 crore. Correct? Post buyback market price is given and the 3057. P ratio will remain same 15 times. So how much should be your earnings per share? 203.8. Number of shares कितने रहेंगे? 80 lakh shares. Sir, how do you know 80 lakh shares? 20% are being repurchased. अभी questions देखो बेटा क्या पूछ रहा है वो. Number of shares proposed to be bought back is 20 lakh shares. Interest amount, loan amount. First guys, what you will do is, what are your total earnings beta here? 1 crore into 200. 200 crores. Here total earnings are 0.8 crores into 203.8. Guys, number of shares multiplied by EPS. कितना है बेटा total earnings? 163.04 crores. Don't you think interest net of taxes should be your reduction in earnings? हाँ या ना guys? बेटा मैं लोन लेके बायबैक कर रहा हूँ. So whatever interest that I'm paying net of tax, won't that contribute to my reduction in earnings? So how much will be your interest beta net of taxes? Interest net of taxes beta will be 36 point. What is the tax rate? Therefore interest amount beta will be 36.96 crores divided by 1 minus tax rate. कितना हो जाता? 1 minus 30%. 52.8 crores. This is the answer to the second bit. Your interest amount beta will be 5280 lakhs. What will be your loan amount guys? 52.8 crores divided by 8% interest rate. 62,660 crores. What will be your buyback price? Are we not buying 0.2 crore shares? Buyback price that will be 660 crores. What is what I'm paying divided by 0.2 crore shares? 3,300 rupees. What is the premium that you are paying? 300 rupees. Premium in percentage? 10%. Online students, I hope you're all doing it better. Send a message in the chat box. Are we all done copying beta? अरे तुम लोग ऑफिस में नहीं मिलते रोज? तो रोज शाम में मिला करो ना रे कहीं बाहर. लोग कंफ्यूज हो रहे किस किस को बोल रहा बोल के. पीछे अंकित सोच रहा है am I being written off? All of this is getting recorded. अरे तू मजाक कर रहा है? यहाँ बैठ के यस सर बोल के ऑनलाइन चैट में भेज रहा. Guys, are you all done beta? Sure guys. Online students, so that's the end of the MCQ discussion. There are few more MCQs after this. These are all theory based MCQs as such guys, which were covered. Just go through them. Answers are also marked there only guys, highlighted. In case you have any doubts, you can always ask me. Best wishes. Now I'll continue with the other discussion guys. We're not done yet. Online students, where this session is being continued better. G Drive students and YouTube students, हमारे लिए भी session continue होगा बेटा वो. I'm just breaking the session and discussing November 24 paper and RTP of May 2025. Alright guys, 1 second.